most fields consisting of grass and dirt, this place has its own history which separates itself from the rest. This place has witnessed greatness. It has seen players and teams perform at the very peak of their capability. This place is Rice-Totten Field, and today, Mississippi Valley State welcomes a high-powered squad from Arkansas Pine-Bluff. This place is ready to host the next memory. Are you ready to witness it? Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to HBCU football presented by the U.S. Navy. We are live in the Delta, 125 miles straight south of Memphis, Tennessee. We are on the campus of Mississippi Valley State for the SWAC opener live here on CSTV. Of course, I am the coach, Jonathan Coachman. My partner, Super Bowl champion, 8-year NFL veteran, Roland Williams. And you talk about SWAC football, HBCU football, a whole lot going on here today.
Yes, there's a rich tradition here in this conference, and it's going to be an exciting day. Yes, it's a little warm, but this is what college football is all about.
And after a 9-hour drive from St. Louis, we're ready to go. Are you?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's talk about Arkansas Pine-Bluff, a high-powered offense, to say the least, and their leader from a year ago is back.
Yes, last season they led the conference in total offense. It was led by the quarterback, Chris Wallace. He was the offensive player of the year and threw for 19 touchdowns. If he wants to continue that touchdown party, he better get the ball to Jason Jones, big-time receiver, averaged 25 yards a catch. Are you kidding me?
Mississippi Valley State, they have a rich tradition. Heck, Jerry Rice went here, but in recent years, their offense has been subpar, to say the least. They need to start with a strong offensive line.
You got to start building somewhere, and an offensive line is a great place to start. They have leadership there, and obviously with the youngness at the quarterback position, you better get the ball to the big-time receiver. Clarence Cotton, great hands, great routes, just a great all-around player. Give him the ball.
Whenever it's your first game, you're always got the butterflies going, and we do too. The bands are ready, the fans are ready, heck, we're ready too. It's a SWAC opener. Kickoff is live, and kickoff is next. HBCU football presented by the U.S. Navy is brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. And by B.F. Goodrich. B.F. Goodrich Tires, take control. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. We are back, just about set for kickoff, and there's the head man from Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Big Mo Forte, in his fourth season at the helm of the Golden Lions. And last year, their first Western Division SWAC championship. They lost to Alabama A&M in the championship game, and on the other side, Willie Totten in his sixth year, at Mississippi Valley State. So you know these coaches, Ro, whenever it's the first game of the year, they've got to be set to go. They've been hitting each other for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Now it's time to hit somebody else.
You get tired of banging against each other and scrimmaging and doing all that dirty stuff in the hot sun. It sure is nice to see somebody else you can hit. I know they came out early. They were facing each other off, staring across the sideline. You're going to see some hitting, some aggressiveness early, and the best time to get it started is right out the first opening kickoff coverage team versus kickoff return. It's some real contact.
Well, Mississippi Valley State won the coin flip, and they have deferred to the second half. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff will get their offense on the field first, and somewhat of an interesting decision, seeing how the Golden Lions have such a good offense that Mississippi Valley would want to put them on the field first.
I wouldn't want to put them on the field first. No way am I going to give Mr. Wallace a chance to get himself going, but hey, I'm not the coach. I'm just watching the game. Okay, Coach?
You got it. And maybe one of the biggest kickers you'll ever see in all of college football, Zach Gilarski, and they say he's only 185 pounds. I'm not sure about that.
That's inaccurate. He looks more like a linebacker kind of guy, okay?
Jason Jones, number 81, Mr. All-Everything for the Golden Lions, is back to receive this kick. Also back, number 10, Bruce Peters, a 5'11", 185-pound wide receiver for the Golden Lions. So we are set the foot into the ball, and it will come down to Jones at the 13, and he's going to go straight up the field. He gets hit, and the ball's on the ground. The ball is on the ground, and we'll see who came up with it. And the Delta Devils may have recovered the fumble. Referee's trying to get underneath there, and what a huge break this would be right off the start on the opening kickoff. And it is. Mississippi Valley State has recovered, and the first turnover of the game comes on the first kickoff of the game.
Well, why does this happen? When the season is just starting out, the kicking game is crucial. You got to protect the football. You haven't had live contact. That time the helmet was right on the ball. It popped out, and now it's just a squirm. It's just a melee to get that football. But those are the fundamentals. That's important that you do early in the season. You got to pay attention to the little things, especially in the kicking game.
And here comes the Delta Devils offense, and we'll take a look at them in just a moment. And their head man is Paul Roberts. He is the quarterback that will make this team go. 6'2", 195-pound sophomore. And what a huge break for Mississippi Valley State, taking over inside of Arkansas Pine-Bluff territory. And the man getting the carry, number 15, Ronald Brewer, will get the start as the tailback. And let's take a look at Paul Roberts, and a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
Absolutely. He is a good decision maker. Okay, this is his first time at the helm, but they say he makes good decisions. He works well in the short, intermediate passing game, and he's somebody that can get the ball to their receivers. We know we want to see Cotton get the ball. Look for him to get the ball in this early drive.
4 yards on first down, so second down and a long 6 for the Delta Devils at the 33 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Roberts back to pass. He's showing his elusiveness. Breaks through the pocket inside the 25. He gets ridden out at the 24, but that's going to be enough for a first down for Mississippi Valley State, and a look at the offense and that big offensive line.
Thaddeus Coleman, number 76. Pay attention to him on that left side. He's 305 pounds, a 3-year starter. He's the guy that's going to keep the engine going for this wonderful offense.
And the skill positions, Ronald Brewer getting the start in the backfield, and they will start 3 wideouts in that spread offense.
They spread this ball around. That's why Jerry Rice had a great career here. Look for them to pass it early, and just now you saw a good decision-making by Robert for him to run the ball.
So after the initial first down of this game, Brewer gets the call, and a big opening inside the 20 down to the 17, and another big gain, this time on first down. It'll bring up a second down and 2. And we talked about opening up those big holes. Well, here early on, they're doing just that.
Well, there's a big opening. The left guard, Emmanuel Otis, knocking it out the way, getting the young freshman, Mr. Brewer, up inside. He's gaining good yardage, but it was a gaping hole. I mean, a lot of people can get through a hole when they're big as that.
You love to have second down and 2s, don't you, pal?
Oh, that's great. Go up top. Go deep.
And right now, inside of the red zone for the first time this afternoon. And the pitch back to Brewer. He loses one tackler, stays on his feet, but he's going to lose a couple of yards on the play. And let's take a look at the defense of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And the 4 up front will have their work cut out for them this afternoon.
Led by big Aaron Hintz, number 92. He is a beast. They lost 3 of their starters. They lost a lot of their starters, but they're just a good, strong group.
There you see the secondary, Houston, Keith, Franks, and Webster. So now the first third down of the game for Mississippi Valley State. Roberts in the shotgun. He hands it off to Roberts, and you just see the push of that offensive line, and he was past the first down marker before he even got touched. So the drive continues, and the first down markers will move.
People are paying attention and talk about the passing attack, but if you pay attention and really watch, there was some yards gained on the ground last year as well, and they're starting to get a little momentum. They're capitalizing on a turnover. This is after a turnover. They're in strategic position to get a score early on.
You know, I'm starting to figure out now why they declined the coin flip. They knew where they were going to get the turnover. They knew that they were going to get the ball anyway. Roberts throwing the fade. He's got a man out there. Oh, and it's dropped by Cotton, and a flag is down, and they're probably going to call pass interference, but it was still, even with the pass interference, nearly completed for a touchdown.
I think Cotton has to catch those balls. He's a senior. He's a playmaker. We just talked about him early. It might have been a little bit of a holding, a little touching going on, but still the ball was catchable. So sometimes you just want to eliminate the referee call and just make the catch and score anyway.
Pass interference. On the defense, number 28 with the ball at the 2-yard line. First down.
So, and with the penalty being called in the end zone, they'll put it at the 2, first down and goal for the Delta Devils, and a big opportunity for them to get on the board first here on Labor Day weekend. So pleased you could join us. Handoff to Brewer. He powers in for a touchdown. Ronald Brewer from 2 yards out, and Mississippi Valley State capitalizes on the opening kickoff fumble, and they go on top 6-0.
Man, if you're Jason Jones, that fumble hurts a lot more when you see him go in the end zone. They just capitalized on great field position, ran a few simple plays, got downfield. The defense, I don't even think they were expecting to be on the field, and now they got scored on, down 6-0.
Galarski in for the extra point. Puts it up and puts it through. So what an electrifying start. And the Delta Devils take advantage, and it's always nicer on that first drive of the game when you can look so efficient and end it with a touchdown.
It's good, too, when you're a freshman. He's a freshman, big Ronald Brewer. He's feeling it out here. He's on national television, getting in the end zone, couple nice runs. His teammates congratulate him. He's getting a little Gatorade. He's feeling nice right now. It got to feel good to be a freshman and get a touchdown.
It wouldn't offend me to have a little Gatorade up here.
It's a little warm up here.
A little warm, but a little different than Illinois on Thursday night. But, we talked about the fact that the offense for the Delta Devils last year, they averaged just over 18 points a game, which was good for 4th in conference play. But you certainly wouldn't say they were a prolific offense, but that would have to help their confidence with the 2007 season starting that way.
And you get out some of the jitters. Again, Paul Roberts having his chance to get his first little series and get downfield. I got a little cobwebs out for him. He threw a ball that should have been complete, and he's feeling good. I know he's feeling comfortable on the sideline, too, and now we get to see our big linebacker kick off the ball.
Galarski will step into another one. Up 7-0, 11:59 remaining here in this first quarter. And Jones will get another opportunity. We'll see how he does this time. And now he just gets wrapped up again. A big-time hit down there at the 25 by number 38, Maurice Dean. And now we can take a look at Chris Wallace, the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2006.
Like we said earlier, 19 touchdowns last year. But here's an important stat. He had a 169.7 efficiency rating. This means that this guy puts the ball where it's supposed to be. Good decision maker. Obviously, they feel comfortable with him behind the helm.
He is very elusive, has quick feet, and is not opposed to putting it down and running with the football. So he has a big-time offensive weapon for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and they hand off to the second back through, and nowhere for that man to go. And let's take a look at the offensive line and the receivers and backs for the Golden Lions.
Well, up front, they have some leadership. They have some big guys, some seniors up there. Patrick Caponier, the center. Those some guys that really love football and really want to protect Mr. Chris Wallace.
And the backs and receivers, Martell Mallett, over 1,200 yards a year ago. He got the first carry of the game, and his nickname is the Snake.
The Snake because of his elusiveness. He's shifty. Mickey Dean is also going to get some work in there. But this is a crew that is much improved, that loves offense. And when you have Chris Wallace at the helm, a lot of things are possible.
The senior Stephen Fulbright is up and off the field for the Delta Devils, so that is good news. So after a 2-yard gain, the ball is down on the ground. Another fumble. So, wow, this is not the way that the Golden Lions wanted to start this game. Another loss. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. That time, the fullback, number 40, Delvin Nixon, was able to fall on it. So maybe some opening game, nerves, and you're on the road, and I get that. But, wow, you don't want to start it like this.
You don't want to start like that. Ball security is so important. That time the center quarterback exchange didn't go the way you practice it every day. They got to come back, just have a short memory, and have a good center snap exchange this time.
Keep an eye on number 81. He's at the bottom of your screen. 3 wide receivers. Wall's back for his first pass. He's got a man open and overthrows his intended wide receiver. That was indeed Jason Jones, and he was open, had plenty for the first down, just a bad overthrow.
bad overthrow, good decision, right man in the zone, good route by Jason Jones, good read by Chris Wallace, but when you overthrow him by three yards, that's just it's no good.
Clarence Cotton will be back to receive this punt, standing at his own 30. Man, he's really a guy that can do everything in the offense and also on special teams. So a good 3 and out by the Mississippi Valley defense. And a low kick, and Cotton will run up and take it at his 44. Lose one rusher, and a flag is down. This one is going to come back. He's inside the 30 and goes out at the 20. And this one is going to come back. There was an illegal block at the 50. And Cotton, there you see it. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to go against the Delta Devils, but even the referees can have, first game jitters.
They're just getting it going, too. It's a team effort out here.
It sure is.
When Cotton does that, when you return the ball and you run downfield and you get that holding call.
Number 24 on Mississippi Valley, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
All right, we'll get to your thought in just a moment. It's time to take our first break of the game. Mississippi Valley State has the ball back, and they have a 7-0 lead here early in the first.
Help! Help! I'm hurt and can't work. I need help to pay my rent, car payment, and electric bill.
You! Do something!
My bills! My hero.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
This is you after an energy drink. Unfortunately, so is this. Why do energy drinks make you crash? 1 minute you're wired up, the next you feel worse than before. The answer is large amounts of sugar and caffeine. That's why you should try a new liquid energy shot called 5-Hour Energy. With 5-Hour Energy, you can leave grogginess behind and sail through your day without feeling jittery, tense, or That's because 5-Hour Energy contains a powerful blend of B vitamins for energy, amino acids for focus and better mood, and enzymes to help you feel it faster. There's 0 sugar, about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, and only 8 calories. The 2-ounce shot takes just seconds to drink, and in minutes you're feeling awake, alert, and productive. And that feeling lasts for hours. So if your energy drink makes you crash, switch to 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. Find out if 5-Hour Energy is right for you. It's available at these fine stores. Or for more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
We're back in Itamina, Mississippi, and the Delta Devils take over on offense for the second time. Ronald Brewer, another big gain up past midfield, good for 10 yards, and another first down. And I got to tell you, with the help of Clarence Cotton doing pretty much everything, this offense in the first 2 series has looked very, very good.
That's right. I was going to say earlier, when Clarence returns that kick and it gets called back, he needs some help from the rest of the team. It gets you pretty tired when you're running downfield and getting it called back. And, man, this young freshman, Mr. Brewer, is off to a great start.
He is, and he's a guy that's getting the start because Joey Hargray and Stephen Roberts are being punished. And if he continues to run this way, well, you hear stories like that about as that pass falls incomplete, intended for Cotton. This is how careers start. You get an opportunity because somebody else makes a mistake, and we may see a lot of Brewer here this afternoon if he continues to run this way.
I keep him in there. Obviously, the freshman is focused. He knows his plays. He's getting in the end zone. He shows that he has poise. And
he followed the rules.
And he follows the rules.
Second down and 10 from straight up midfield for the Delta Devils. They took the opening kickoff fumble recovery in for a touchdown. They're trying to set up a screen pass, and he better just throw this one away, and there you have it. As there were offensive linemen everywhere, about 20 yards downfield, and a flag does come back, as I believe that's probably what it's going to be. You bet.
He said there were linemen 20 yards downfield.
You can pick a number you can pick a number, and that number was downfield.
Yeah, if you say there's linemen 20-yard downfield, hey, when they're passing the ball, you can't do that. That's against the rules, in case you don't know. And, of course, coach is going to have some words for him for doing that. That's just not smart football. See the words? He's not saying good job.
He's saying which number? Coach. All of them.
Legal receiver downfield on the offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
And now, number 62 is saying,
Mr. Otis.
Emmanuel Otis is saying, why do you have to say my number, dog?
That's exactly what he's saying. He's a senior. Can you put it on somebody else? Go down the line and put it on a junior or something. Leave the seniors alone.
I don't know if I would have accepted that penalty because it would have brought up a 3rd down and 10, but they did. So now it's 2nd down and 15 from back at their own 45-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Roberts back to pass. Pretty good coverage. He throws it out there complete. And his man is still on his feet. Big number 86 complete. Brandon Stargell, a 6'2", 195-pound freshman. It wasn't the prettiest pass, but it was effective and a 1st down for the Delta Devils.
Great decision making. He slid outside the pocket. You look inside the zone. You give him the ball. That's what you want to do. And Stargell, he's from Pine-Bluff, so he feels a little slighted for not even being on the squad. He's feeling good. He wants to get a chance to make some plays.
So 1st down and 10 inside of Arkansas Pine-Bluff territory again, and this time hands it off to number 9. That's Terrence Page, a sophomore, and he gets minimal yardage. And, Roland, when you look at it, Arkansas Pine-Bluff, a team that was picked to finish 1st in the SWAC Western Division. They come in with a swagger a year ago. They win their first ever SWAC Western title, and they've been punched in the mouth pretty good here to start the game.
Yes, they have. I mean, right now, you come into a hostile environment to start the season out, no matter who you are, it's not going to be an easy take.
So 2nd down and 8, I formation. Roberts back to pass. Looking over the middle, he has a man wide open, and the ball is on the ground. We'll see if they rule it a fumble. And it's complete to number 89, Abner Brown. 6'3", 240-pound transfer. He's a junior, and again, enough for a 1st down as the drive continues.
You see Paul Roberts, they're giving him short intermediate passing routes. Brown makes the nice soft catch, but he got to hold on to that biscuit, man. You better hold on to that rock. That ball is important to a lot of people.
Folks out there listening right now, you're going to hear a lot of words today that you may have not known before, and we call it the Big Row vocabulary. Roberts out to the far side. He has a man wide open. Another nice pitch and catch. This time completed to number 11. That's Rob Fox, a senior from Calhoun City, Mississippi. And right now this offense is clicking.
Offensive coordinator Ricky Carson is doing a great job using the assets of Paul Roberts. He's getting him out into the movement, showing his movement, throwing a nice route to the outside. That's a senior receiver, keeping his feet in bounds. This is a nice, high-quality, high-percentage drive, getting everybody involved and capitalizing on Paul Roberts' decision-making and the fact that he has a little athleticism as well.
Roberts into the end zone. It's one-on-one coverage, and that is out of the end zone. It was intended for his big wide receiver, Stargell, again. And they are going for the throw early as they got one-on-one coverage and tried to capitalize on it.
If you're at home, you have an opportunity. You got capitalizing a big turnover. You're back again on offense. You have to stay aggressive. So I'm very happy. Ricky Carson, offensive coordinator for this team, is excited. He wants to get it going. He wants to get Paul Roberts some confidence early in the season. And this is a great opponent to get that confidence.
So 2nd down and 10. The ball is sitting right at the 18 of the Golden Lions. Again, 4 wide receivers in this spread offense. Roberts back to pass. Cotton is out there, and that one just a little bit too far. It was a great route that was run by Cotton, but Roberts just led him just a little bit too much.
Paul Roberts had a little pressure that time. They came with a little blitz. Number 39, Tim Turner, came from the blitz from the soft side. He had to get rid of that ball a little bit quicker. You like for him to just take a little bit off, but the opportunity was there. You're seeing this stuff is going to pay off big dividends in the second quarter, third quarter. They're seeing that there's opportunities and openings against this defense.
And what I'm seeing right now, you mentioned the openings, that defensive backfield is not covering very well because all the wide receivers are open. Third down and 10. Roberts back to pass again, pulls it down, and he's going to be just blindsided. Wow. What a big-time hit by number 90, Ladarius Anthony, the 6'4", 245-pound junior, and what closing speed.
That was just a consistent effort because there was time for him to make a decision. Obviously, good coverage downfield. He just kept motoring, kept working hard, kept being a beast about it. Enjoy the sack. Doesn't it taste good?
There you go from Pine-Bluff, Arkansas. It didn't have to go very far to go to college, so now the defensive stop, and that will force a field goal try by Galarski. It'll be a 42-yard chance, and it is straight through the uprights. So a near perfect start as we are about halfway through the first quarter, and Mississippi Valley State at home on top by 10 early. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they've got some work to do.
My house. Party's over, bud. Hit it. What's going on?
Me and my bro, Spicy Chicken Crisp, are just, entertaining.
That friend of yours is a menace.
Why, because he's a buck on the value menu like me?
Where is that punk?
Upstairs.
With Daddy's little girl? Ugh. Spicy!
She was hitting on me!
New, the Spicy Chicken Crisp for $1. Heating up the BK value menu.
Fred Flintstone, an employee of Slate Rock Gravel Company. His wife, Wilma, a stay-at-home mom. Yet on this working man's salary, how did Wilma afford a necklace made of huge rocks?
Mr. Slate pays well, but he doesn't pay that well.
An investigation would reveal that Fred had the Flintmobile insured with Geico, saving the couple untold amounts of money. Their friendship with the Rubbles would soon become strained.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Southwestern Athletic Conference, founded in 1920, home to 10 outstanding institutions of higher learning that's dedicated to offering challenging educational opportunities to talented students and future leaders from all across America. Whether in the classroom or on the field of play, the SWAC is committed to building character and champions. The Southwestern Athletic Conference, focused on service, scholarship, and shaping the minds of our future leaders.
We thought that Arkansas Pine-Bluff would be the team to put a lot of points on the board today, but it's been Mississippi Valley State that has been the team that has shocked us early on. Their second possession ending with a 42-yard field goal from Galarski. So now they've had two possessions, and they have scored both times. Galarski puts his foot into it again, end over end, and it's going to come down to the up man, and he takes it up past the 30. And written down right there, Bruce Peters on the return for the Golden Lions. So now what does Chris Wallace have to do after they've really been stunned here in the first quarter? Take a look at that total offense.
Well, that's not impressive if you're looking and you're a Golden Lion, but you got to settle down. This game is early. Chris Wallace, been here, done that before. They know they can get offensively, get going. I think this time you might want to give the ball to the Snake and just settle things down a little bit. That would be Martell Mallett, number 8, Snake.
You'll also see Mickey Dean, number 23, with significant playing time today. And again, Chris Wallace overthrows his intended wide receiver, so Wallace has not been on the mark. 0 for 2 now, as they've only had 4 offensive plays thus far. But I mentioned Mickey Dean, the SWAC Freshman of the Year back in 2005, and he's supposed to see a lot of playing time here today, but he was out last year with a medical red shirt with a very high ankle sprain.
Well, right now, this offense has to settle down. No matter who's in the game, they got to settle down and get some positive yards. Let's just get a first down and then move on from there.
2nd down and 10. Man in motion for Wallace. Back to pass. Blitz by Mississippi Valley State. Wallace is still on his feet. I don't know how. He has brought it down, but there's the chase, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 31. But he avoids the sack, but he still loses a couple of yards. And I can't believe we haven't done it yet, but they haven't been hardly on the field as of yet. The Mississippi Valley State defense and that defensive line and the linebackers here early on have put a lot of pressure on Chris Wallace.
They have, and it's been impressive. Ronald Green, number 61. They have some guys that are untested in the defensive backfield, but I talked with a defensive back coach. He's feeling like they're fired up. The defense as a whole is ready to make plays.
Michael Higgins nearly got the sack that time for the Delta Devils, but Wallace was able to escape. But still, it's 3rd down and long, and 3 wide receivers again for the Golden Lions. Plenty of time. Wallace has a man open. Up past the 35, he completes it to his fullback, Delvin Nixon, but it's going to be short of a first down. And again, Arkansas Pine-Bluff will be forced to punt. Another 3 and out for the Golden Lions.
The defensive coordinator for the Delta Devils, Dennis Winston, is feeling really nice right now. Good tackle by Jerry Morris. He's feeling good. He's keeping it in the flow. He's keeping this high-powered offense. They're 3 and out. They're confused. They're befuddled. This is a great opportunity. If you're a defense, you like keeping the offensive unit befuddled, especially when they're the high-powered offense of the Golden Lions.
That's a big word for you, befuddled.
Befuddled, yeah.
640, I know you did. 640 and counting. Cotton back to receive the punt again for the Delta Devils. A low punt. Lands at the 24. Cotton takes it. Straight up the middle, up past the 30. And he's a guy that runs straight up and down. And a nice return. And again, good field position for Mississippi Valley State. We'll take a break. They lead it early by 10.
Athletic performance, lightweight, sporty design, sport-tuned suspension, and an advanced CVT transmission to keep you running smoothly. Introducing the all-new 270 horsepower V6 Nissan Altima Coupe. True performance, true technology, true coupe.
Mr. Bush, room 619. Mr. Manning, 1818.
This is Reggie Bush. Can you send up 10 lobsters, please?
This is Peyton Manning. Can you send me a 30-foot-long catfish po' boy, please?
Can I get someone up here with enough chili to fill up my bathtub?
Peyton Manning, number 18.
It's Colts versus Saints on NFL Opening Kickoff, presented by Sprint. Thursday, September 6th, with John Mellencamp, Faith Hill, and Kelly Clarkson live.
Sponsored in part by GMC, Diet Pepsi, Coors Light, and EA Sports.
What's up? I'm Steve, and this is Steve TV, my own personal college sports channel. Made by me, for me. Who's got Mountain West football? Me. Who's all over Pac-10 football? Me. It's like a meat casserole with a side of meat. It even smells like me. Don't believe me? Ask my girlfriend Mimi. Hi. That's enough, Mimi. Now let's get back to some football.
Be the head of your own college sports channel. Put all your teams on all your screens. Find out how at cstv.com/mychannel.
Welcome back. 6:20 remaining here in the first quarter. HBCU football presented by the U.S. Navy. Roland Williams, Jonathan Coachman, our entire CSTV crew. So pleased you could join us. This is the first of 3 games here today live on CSTV. Mississippi Valley State has started this game in impressive fashion. Up by 10. The screen over the middle to the big tight end, up past the 45, still on his feet, and ridden down at the 49. Big number 89, Abner Brown, and a well-orchestrated play, and he again was wide open.
I got to be impressed again. Offensive coordinator Wiki Carson, you're using your groceries so smart. You have a young quarterback. You're giving them confidence, all the confidence in the world. This time the screen, they call it jailbreak, getting the ball inside. People are blocking, chopping bodies down. He's getting up. This is a team effort, and this offense looks pretty.
And you want to be a quarterback, huh? Paul Roberts holding the ball till just at the last correct moment. So now first down and 10 again up near the 50. Roberts running the option. He's got a big hole again. Oh, and he is Smacked that time by number 5, Michael Witherspoon, but not before a 12-yard gain and another first down for the Delta Devils.
Pulling all the tricks out of the box. The freeze option coming out to the end of the line. Good job, quarterback. Listen.
Oh!
Ouch.
You
but
can
he's
hear
doing it.
helmet on helmet. And Roberts has shown his versatility, and he has also shown that his throwing accuracy, at least here in the first quarter, is much better than it was a year ago. Roberts down the near side. Cotton is out there and nearly makes the catch. It was right on his hands, and he was near the out-of-bounds line as well. So trying to stay inbounds, he just couldn't make the catch.
Paul Roberts is doing everything he has to do as a quarterback. Great decision on the last few plays. This time he gets aerial. He's throwing the ball, putting it in a perfect spot, outside shoulder. Cotton, you got to come through and make that grab. You're a big-time receiver. This is a big-time game. You got to make that grab. Come on.
That angle was pretty good down there, guys. Great job. And you can see at that angle, the ball was not tipped whatsoever. Difficult catch, yes, but a catch that you need to make if you want to win big games. So now 2nd down and 10. Roberts from the shotgun yet again. He's got a man breaking open and overshot his receiver that time, intended for Brandon Stargell. But again, these guys are open, and if he puts the ball there, it's a pretty easy pitch and catch.
You're at Rice-Totten Stadium. Rice. I played with Jerry Rice. Rice. Hands. Catching the ball. You must come through when you have the opportunity. I know that the coach can have something to talk about on the sideline. You got to catch the ball.
You bet. 3rd down and 10, and the Arkansas Pine-Bluff defense desperately needs a stop, as the Delta Devils have had 2 possessions and have scored on both. So 3 wide receivers for Roberts. He remains in a bad snap. The ball's on the ground, and all he can do is cover it up. So a missed opportunity that time for the Delta Devils offense, and they will be forced to punt.
Kirk Fields, the center. I know he feels bad when it skips on the ground, stopping a beautiful drive. Paul Roberts, good decision. Lay on it, lay down, get off the field.
Galarski, who is my favorite player from Mississippi Valley State. I don't know why, but this man is becoming my all-star. He is back to punt. He does all the kicking for the Delta Devils. And back to receive for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, number 9, Stuart Franks. He takes it at his 7th, and he will bring it up the near sideline, waiting for his blocks, and he will be ridden out at the 23. And they're saying that he was already out of bounds before the ball came out. Well, you know what time it is, Roland? It's time to gaze deeply into college football's future with the fortune tellers of CSTV's Crystal Ball. Join the Crystal Ball crew as they preview the upcoming week in Football Nation, including marquee matchups between Oklahoma and Miami, Penn State and Notre Dame, and so much more. It's Crystal Ball, Wednesday night, 7 Eastern, only on CSTV.
I love that show. I watch it every week.
You're on it half the time. Take a look at the first downs. Wow, what a shutout that is being pitched right now. Arkansas Pine-Bluff still looking for their first shutout, and that man Mallett, who had over 1,200 yards rushing a year ago, has yet to be able to get off the mark because they've gone 3 and out in both of their first 2 drives.
Sometimes when you have a prolific offense the year before, you spend time in the offseason finding ways to improve it. Sometimes there's so many little things that you try to get better on, and sometimes the big things you're just not getting. And right now they're not making blocks. They're not receiving the ball properly. They're not making good decisions. Overall, this offense needs to just settle down and pick up some first downs.
2nd down and long. Walls back to pass. The pocket breaks down, and the ball nearly came out again as he was tackled up near the 28. And right now it seems like he has some happy feet because that rush is coming pretty quick.
The play-action pass didn't work, and when you're getting a little heat and there's no receivers open and you're a quarterback, you got to tuck in and run and just give what you can get. He made it reasonable. This is a 3rd down and very reasonable.
So now again, 3rd down and 5, and the Golden Lions trying to avoid 3 straight 3-and-outs to begin this ball game. We are under 3 minutes and counting here in the first quarter. Wallace has time. He has a man open. Jones up past the 35. He gets to the 40, and a much-needed first down. And the chains will move.
Man, when you're a senior and you start out turning over the ball, it feels good to get back in the game and say, hey, I'm here. I want to make a play, coach. First down. He was feeling it. He gave the first down sign. He's letting the coach know he wants to play. I'm ready to play.
And if you heard that, it was a collective sigh from the Arkansas Pine-Bluff sideline saying, okay, we got the first down. We're back in the game. We're only trailing by 10. Everything's just fine. Wallace with the I formation behind him to Mallett. He breaks off the right side, lowers his shoulder, and a good gain on first down. And I believe that a flag was dropped at the spot of the tackle. So we'll see what the call is. Looked like it probably was going to be a face mask.
Marcus Travis on the stop for Mississippi Valley, but wait a minute, there is Lamar.
5-yard face mask on the defense. Number 54, 5-yard penalty, tacked on to the end of the run, first down.
I am on my game today.
Good eye.
Well, thank you. Well, I remembered to put my contacts in today.
You see what one first down can do for you? You get one first down, now you get a run, a gain of 6-7, plus a face mask. They're feeling it now. Momentum in this game of football is so beautiful.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff now into Delta Devils territory for the first time this afternoon. Mallett gets the call again. A little tuck and run and a little change of direction and a little start-stop. And after all was said and done, another 7-yard gain.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. The little start-stop, that's veteran stuff. That's NFL stuff right there. You get the ball, you slow down. Watch him slow down on 75 and on Price, and then he speeds up and keeps it going. Then he has enough poise to get inside, using his blockers, bouncing outside. That's a lot of work for 6 yards. That's veteran work, and that's why he's a big-time running back.
And if you are 6'2", 275 like John Price is, you're like, come on. I'm on an island all by myself. Second down and about 4. Oh, and Mickey Dean gets that call, and the entire defensive line from the Mississippi Valley State was there in the backfield. A loss on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Well, that time the defense is here to play too. You know, Price got shook up that time, but now the rest of his team is saying, we'll rally, we're there for you. Guys are getting in there making plays. You see Morris in there. You see folks saying, hey, defense is out here too.
Yeah, Mickey Dean, the SWAC Freshman of the Year in 2005, and chomping at the bit to get back on the field after a medical redshirt a year ago. So 3rd down and long. Wallace looking for a man, gets a great block from Dean, and with that block, was able to get past the first down marker and give credit to number 23 for allowing this drive to continue.
Boy, it takes a team to get a first down. That time getting Wallace out, working, he's looking downfield. He has the awareness to watch, but look at Dean, give it up for the big boy, dropping his head down. That's what you need to get a first down. It takes a team effort, especially when you're struggling on offense. It doesn't matter how you get it.
And Jason Jones, you got to give him credit too. If you're going to throw out the love, give the love to everybody. All right, 1st down and 10, the deepest penetration here in the first quarter. We're under 30 seconds to play. It's been a very entertaining first quarter, to say the least. Wallace, first man through. Mickey Dean inside the 35, and that will, in all likelihood, be the last play of this first quarter. But a first quarter that we didn't expect to see, with Arkansas Pine-Bluff being the pick, the consensus pick for first place in the Western Division of the SWAC.
When you're at home and you're starting out a season, you know, the home team has a slight advantage. They have the adrenaline, the momentum, and they're showing up right now in a big game and just capitalizing on plays.
And that's the end of the first quarter, and it's been a lot of fun so far. Everybody settle in. It's going to be a good one. Mississippi Valley State on top at the end of one, 10-0.
Cow! Good, Aaron. Cow. Cow! Yes, sweetie, cow. Cow! Paul, where are the burgers?
A free Chick-fil-A sandwich and Coke for the first million to register at freechickenandcoke.com.
Now get big arms, a ripped chest, and cut abs with the Perfect Push-Up. The Perfect Push-Up works with the natural rotation of your arms and shoulders to maximize results and minimize stress on your body. With the Perfect Push-Up, your hands, arms, and shoulders rotate 90 degrees, just like in a punch. All the energy of a push-up is captured and transmitted right where you want it, to the muscles. There's no wasted effort, just muscle-building movement. And as your arms rotate, you feel it work in your biceps, your triceps, your chest and abs, and your shoulders. Invented by a U.S. Navy SEAL and made with steel and a ball-bearing movement, it's the push-up perfected. So here's the deal. The Perfect Push-Up is only 2 payments of $19.95. When you order, you'll receive 2 Perfect Push-Up rotational handles, and you'll also receive the Navy SEAL-inspired Perfect Push-Up workout chart. You'll be ripped in no time. Get big fast. Call right now for the Perfect Push-Up.
Call 1-800-543-0376.
We're back here in Itamina, Mississippi. Start of the second quarter. Mississippi Valley State on top of Arkansas Pine-Bluff 10-0, and they really dominated the first quarter from an offensive standpoint, but now the Golden Lions rolling on their best offensive drive of the day.
It's about time. We expect greatness out of this offense. Last year, being so successful on the offensive side of the ball, you can't help but with the players and folks they have returning to expect greatness. It's getting off to a slow start, but after a few first downs, it's exciting to see them get a little involved in this game from an offensive perspective. And don't think that the coach Jonathan Kennedy, the offensive coordinator, is happy about this and say, finally, let's go.
While we have a second, speaking of let's go, let's talk about Coach Totten, who is the head man here at Mississippi Valley State and an inductee into the 2005 College Hall of Fame back in 1984, a first-team All-American. And, back in 1999, this stadium named after him and Jerry Rice, they played together from 1982 to 1985. And really, he is a guy that's synonymous with Mississippi Valley State football.
And they believe in him. To play for him, he's a legend. He's on the stadium, and he deserves it. And right now, he wants to show up in this game and win a big game, but his legacy of what he's been a part of here at this college will last forever.
I think that's really the beautiful thing about HBCU football and the black colleges here in the South, specifically, is that there sits a rich tradition. The alumni love to come back, be a part of not only the program but the school itself. And it's a beautiful thing to watch whenever we get the pleasure and privilege of coming down here each year to do the, the 4 or 5 games that we get to do.
When we show up here early, you see folks that are alumni hanging out early and laughing and talking about great moments they've seen on the field, and that's the rich history. Folks care about their college. They care about the university. Folks care about the Delta Devils, and they come back and support them.
And on the flip side of things, Big Mo, who's talking to the referee right now, Mo Forte, he's done a really, really nice job with Arkansas Pine-Bluff as well. Last year, a school record, 7 straight wins. And incidentally, he's a man that coached from upstairs when they won their 7 straight wins, but a wide receiver and running back coach with the Denver Broncos, has a lot of big-time experience when you look at the guys, Barry Sanders, the Tony Dorsetts of the world, that he was able to coach.
Yes, and last year, having some heart ailments, he was forced to coach the entire season from up in the box. Wasn't even down the field, but still guided them to be successful. It allowed him to take some of the stress away from being on the field, to see the game from a different perspective, and I think that's allowing him to be a better coach now in this season.
Well, I'm getting a little hot right now, not from the temperature, but the fact that with this delay, I've had to use all my material, all my filler material I just had to use as we're trying to figure out what's going on the field. And
we can maybe get the band going. I mean, that's always an exciting part of coming down south.
There is nothing like an HBCU schools band. When you talk about the rich traditions and the collar and the glamour, and it starts with the band. It starts with the band. It ends with the band.
Absolutely. I saw the Golden Lions band, when you watch them, they actually sit like in uniform, and when you see them before the timeouts and the TV breaks, they really take it really serious. I mean, they were here early practicing and getting their formations going, and even though it's hot out here, they're still staying poised and got their caps on. Nobody's even taking their caps off too much.
Well, the referees are still trying to figure out what's going on, and quite frankly, so are we. Somebody better let them know that we've got 2 more games later on today live here on CSTV. And as much as I'd like to watch 22 guys stand on the field and do nothing.
Might be some clock issues. They're over there. Maybe they're talking it out. They're trying to figure out, can the clock work? Can we play football? How's the grass? You know.
While we figure it out, we're going to take a quick break here and try to figure out what exactly is going on. We are set to start the second quarter. Mississippi Valley State on top by 10. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, this head ball, coach. Hey, I told you he could really go. Click, clap.
Mr. Bush, room 619. Mr. Manning, 1818.
This is Reggie Bush. Can you send up 10 lobsters, please?
This is Peyton Manning. Can you send me a 30-foot-long catfish po' boy, please?
Can I get someone up here with enough chili to fill up my bathtub?
Peyton Manning, number 18.
It's Colts versus Saints on NFL opening kickoff presented by Sprint. Thursday, September 6th with John Mellencamp, Faith Hill, and Kelly Clarkson live.
The NFL opening kickoff presented by Sprint. Thursday, September 6th.
If you're a college sports fan, you're an NCAA Division II sports fan. This is what you want.
10 seconds left, down by 2.
This is what you'll get. The biggest hearts, the biggest games, the best of Division II. These student athletes chose Division II. Watch them play on CSTV.
Okay, we have the situation under control. It was just a matter of deciding if it was second or third down. It's second down, so we are ready to start the second quarter. Roland Williams, I'm Jonathan Coachman. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, second down and about 7.
I could have told him it was second down.
And after all of that, a false start on the offensive line.
I could have told him it was second down. They could have just called up here to the booth.
Oh, my goodness.
Would have helped him out.
Oh, my goodness. It is September 1st, that's for sure. And look at Big Mo. He's like, after all that, a 12-minute wait, trying to decide what time it is. And, all right, second down and 12. The clock has yet to start here in this second quarter. Chris Wallace at the helm. Hands it off to Mallett. He avoids one tackler. He's using that speed and just gets cut down high and low, and Mallett gets up, but you can see limping. Pretty good gain on third down, or second down, to bring up third and about 7.
Yeah, that was second down. Good cut, and you see Mallett get outside. He's running hard, getting outside, but the defense is catching up with you, too. That's just good play by both parties. She'll take the gain. After that long wait, we wanted to see some excitement.
Mallett just went to the sidelines, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Probably just going to be a big bruise tomorrow on that thigh. But Mickey Dean comes in. So really not a fall off at all in the backfield when you bring Dean in. And just a toss out to Dean. He avoids one tackler, gets inside the 35, and is going to be knocked out at about the 33. But it's going to be well short of a first down. And we'll see what Mo Forte decides to do. Because right now, Roland, you're kind of in no man's land. 4th down and about 5 from the 33. But the punter is coming onto the field.
You have to know what kind of punter you have. If he's a guy that can make those little intermediate putts and get the ball inside of the 20-yard line, that's what you want. If he has big enough range, like a guy I played with, Sebastian Janikowski from the National Football League, he might go kick it.
I apologize. John Heflin, a preseason first-team all-SWAC pick. He's going to nail it from 49, and with the win, nowhere close to being close. Well, after the missed field goal attempt, we'll take another quick break. Just getting started here in the second quarter. Delta Devils on top by 10.
Athletic performance. Lightweight. Sporty design. Sport-tuned suspension. And an advanced CVT transmission to keep you running smoothly. Introducing the all-new 270 horsepower V6 Nissan Altima Coupe. True performance, true technology, true coupe.
With your SWAC Minute Update, I'm D. Jackson. There are 2 coaches in the state of Alabama in the SWAC, and I tell you, they both have world championship rings, Super Bowl championship rings, as a matter of fact. Anthony Jones won his with the Washington Redskins, and Reggie Barlow at Alabama State with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the brand new coach in the SWAC says he's not here to make world champions, he's here to stress academics.
I've told people that I'm the model guy for coming to Alabama State, being able to have a successful career. I got drafted, went and played in the NFL, but I also know those things that you need to do in the classroom so you'll be able to get that college degree.
Coach Barlow's team eager to get out on the field. Here's a look at some of the other SWAC competition for the week. And that's been your SWAC update. I'm D. Jackson. Let's send it back to the game.
The Arkansas Pine-Bluff band showing some love. 10-0, 14:01 remaining here in the second quarter, and a lot of enthusiasm on campus. It's Labor Day weekend. They're happy about they don't have school on Monday, and there is a football game today. The Delta Devils hand off to Brewer. Good blocking on the outside, and it looks like that good block may have been a hold. Maybe too good of a block.
Maybe.
Ladarius Anthony was out there for the Golden Lions defense, and there you go.
You're on fire right now. You're 2 for 2 making those calls.
I tell you what, it didn't take me long to warm up today with the heat.
You just don't like a holding call. If you're an offensive lineman, a fullback.
Spot of the foul.
If you block, you just don't like those calls. You don't want to see them, and as an offensive guy, I can sympathize, but let's take a look.
Yeah, Joshua Brown on the Joshua Brown, if you're going to do it, make it count. And he did.
Nice hold.
So back it up 10 from the spot of the foul. Second down and about 19. The first down and 19, excuse me. Cotton in motion for the Delta Devils. Brewer can't stay on his feet. A good open field tackle by number 49, Jarrett Murray. We'll get that number in a second. I think it was 49, but you can't really tell from his jersey, and it is. There you go. And so a good open field tackle, and second down and 17 as the clock counts as we are early here in the second quarter. Baylor and TCU coming up immediately after us. TCU, big plans for them. We'll see how they do today in their season opener against Baylor. Roberts floats it out to his back out of the backfield, and Anthony comes from the defensive line, and boy, that guy can flat out fly, makes the play, a short gain on the play. Third down and long.
When you stay in good position, that's how those plays are made. You got to stay in good position. You got to come to balance. You got to pursue. You got to be aggressive. And when you get all those things done, it makes it tough. But there's not too many plays in the playbook for third down and 15 and all that stuff anyway. So it's really playing to the advantage of the defense at this point.
3 wide receivers for the Delta Devils. Roberts back to pass. He has good protection. Steps up in the pocket. He has a man over there, nearly intercepted, nearly caught, and then the ball falls incomplete. Intended that time for Rob Fox. We'll take a look at it one more time.
The Golden Lions were all over that one. A lot of golden helmets around in the back, waiting for that one. Good job stepping up in the pocket by Roberts, but there's just not too much action in there. Everyone knows it's 3rd and 20. That wasn't too hard to figure out from a defensive side of the ball.
Tim Turner, number 39, good defense and breaking up that pass and nearly getting the interception. So now Galarski as a flag flies, and the punt will hit at the 34 and will go out of bounds at the 31. We'll see what the penalty flag is. A lot of flags here early on in this game, and sometimes you expect that, Ro.
Yeah, when you're starting the season out, expect that.
I would think that they'll probably make the Mississippi Valley State kick again because they are not going to have fantastic field position after that punt, so they are going to go back and make Galarski kick it one more time. This wind is really kind of a crosswind right now, so the kicking game is struggling because of the way the wind is blowing.
I don't know if it's the wind as so much as just guys have to kick the ball well. I don't want to give too much excuses for the wind.
I was trying to.
I know the cup is half full.
To be polite.
I'm going to look at it more honestly. Kick the ball, and then the ball will go well in the wind. Right now, this is advantage, though, to the return team because everybody's tired. All the guys down there in the punt team are tired. They ran down there. Now, this time, they're not going to be as fast down. This is a great opportunity for a return man to pick up some big yardage.
Bruce Peters and a bad kick, and what a good decision. That went off the side of the foot of Galarski, and we'll see where they mark it. But Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they take over at the Mississippi Valley State 28-yard line. And now it's time for the AFLAC trivia question. You ready, Big Ro?
I'm ready.
All right. Name the Arkansas Pine-Bluff alumni who went on to win 4 Super Bowls as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get back to that in just a few moments. Think about it and see if you have the right answer in just a little bit. So a big mistake or a bad play, whichever way you want to look at it, and the Golden Lions in a great situation. The ball is on the ground, and it's recovered by, I believe, the Delta Devils. And wow, another big-time turnover. And Mo Forte is screaming about something, but to no avail. And a turnover, and the ball goes back over to Mississippi Valley State.
This is the center and quarterback exchange. This is one of the first fundamentals you learn in training camp. Center Patrick Caponye, Chris Wallace, you guys are not getting it done with a simple fundamental, and your coach, Big Mo, over there is upset. This is unacceptable for an offense of this caliber.
The second turnover of the game, the first being on the opening kickoff.
Whistle by the official. By rule, the team last in possession gets to play over again. University of Pine-Bluff ball.
Wow, okay, I did actually hear a whistle, and if we can, I don't know if we can replay that in real time, but there was an inadvertent whistle, and you heard the referee just say that when there's an inadvertent whistle, the last team with possession gets to replay. What a huge call.
Wow.
And wow.
Wow.
And that's why, wow, Willie Totten and that entire Mississippi Valley State sidelines, they are upset, and they have every right to be, but that's the rule. Let's listen to it. There, you heard it right there. The inadvertent whistle before the play was over, so the ball goes back to Arkansas Pine-Bluff at the same spot. It'll be first down over again. Wallace, and the ball is down on the ground. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? And it's going to be in the same spot they would have had the ball. So sometimes it's poetic justice, and now it truly is the second turnover of the game.
Chris Wallace, Patrick Caponye, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you serious? You get a gift. I was going to sing a happy birthday song, and you turn around, and you're too good of an offense to play like this. But if you're going to play that way, you're going to get punished for it. Hold on to the ball. Mo is over there talking to his quarterback, offensive coordinator Jonathan Cannon. I know he's just up. Oh, he's having a fit.
Marcus Travis made the hit that allowed the ball to come out, and the Delta Devils, as the ball was picked up by Michael Wilson, and they will take over at their own 40. Brewer gets the call straight up the middle, and he's hit hard, bounces off one tackler, gets up to the 42, so a gain of 2. But can you believe what we just saw?
I can't believe it, especially when we're coming in, starting out this game, bragging and talking about this Arkansas Pine-Bluff dynamic offense, and right now they're not being that, and you're meeting on the sideline. They're huddling up together. There's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, but don't be frustrated. You better settle down and start playing better in this second quarter.
This is an offense that came in with the preseason Offensive Player of the Year in Chris Wallace, and they had big plans, and so far they've been shut out, and they have looked out of sync. Paul Roberts breaks out of the pocket, and he's going to pull it down up past the 45, and that's where they'll mark him out at the 48. It'll be short of the first down, but it'll be third down and only about 2, and I've been very impressed with Roberts here today.
He is. He's a leader. They like his decision-making ability. They said he doesn't have the big arm, and we saw that early on, but he does have a good enough arm to make this offense go, and his smartness, his decision-making is just what he needs. These turnovers is just what he needs to build his confidence.
The clock is stopped at 10:40. Third down and 2, and the power formation. And a busted play. Roberts hangs on to it, but unable to even get back to the line of scrimmage. So Mississippi Valley State does Arkansas Pine-Bluff a favor. They have a mistake on third down, and they will be forced to punt.
Well, I think it was something happened in the backfield where somebody wasn't where they're supposed to be. Paul Roberts did a good job of saying, hey, it's okay. Let's just get down. Let's make it a break-even play. Let's punt the ball, get some good field position. And, again, this is setting you up for later. Now we get to see our linebacker/punter.
Stuart Franks is back to receive for the Golden Lions. He will stand at about his 12th. Galarski, a horrendous punt the last time, but they avoided disaster by getting the turnover. Puts his foot into it. This time a spiraling kick comes down to Franks at the 12. And he's going to be wrapped up at about the 21, and that is where Arkansas Pine-Bluff will take over. Well, now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Name the Arkansas Pine-Bluff alumni who went on to win 4 Super Bowls as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the answer is... L.C. Greenwood, you bet. Graduated in 1969. Drafted in the 10th round by the Steelers. One of the 4 members of the revered Steel Curtain, known for wearing yellow shoes. So you just learned more than you ever needed to know about L.C. Greenwood. And the whistle blows and a false start on the left side of the offensive line. And you know, when you talk about the Steel Curtain row, just to throw in a little added bonus, Dennis Winston, the new defensive coordinator for Mississippi Valley State, graduated from the University of Arkansas, also played for the Steelers back on the Steel Curtain.
Yes, and actually, you know, he actually played against the defensive coordinator for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Monty Coleman, played against him actually on the field, so there's a little history there.
Monty Coleman, a 16-year veteran with the Washington Redskins, and another false start, and this right now is not pretty.
There might be some running or something, or extra practice or something following this game. You know, this is the kind of stuff when the coaches don't like.
Number 78 on the white, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
This is when your coach says, you know, I've been happy with the preseason practice. We've really been focusing, and I think everything is clicking. We're going to be on all cylinders, and then all of that is coming to a screeching halt right now for the Golden Lions.
You can get over getting physically beaten a game, but the mental mistakes coaches have a tough time dealing with.
Mickey Dean is still in there at halfback for the Golden Lions, and he gets the call. He spins and gets maybe a couple. He replaced Mallet, who went out of the game with what looked like a thigh stinger, I guess is the best way to put it. Dean, who was out all of last season with a medical red shirt, now is the running back of note in the game for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. So second down and about 17. They need to get all the way up to the 31 for a first down. And there you see the total yards so far. Pretty much a shutout for the Golden Lions. Back to pass. Wallace has time, gets hit again, and then just gets sandwiched by 3 or 4 Delta Devils, and again, unable to find anybody open.
Well, this is a happy, good time for defensive coordinator Dennis Winston. He knows they're trying to throw the ball, so he's sending some heat. He's sending the folks in there, bringing in some fire, aggressiveness, not giving the quarterback any time to make a decision. This is clearly advantage defense. When you get a situation, you get 3rd and 21, it's just a great time to make a play. Michael Wilson, again, in on the play. He was the man that recovered the fumble on the last turnover. So now, 3rd down, are they going to bring the house again? Wallace back to pass. He pulls it down early. Still on his feet. He's following some blocks. Leaps over a couple of guys. Still on his feet. Does he have enough for the first down? It's near the 31. He may be just about a half a yard short, but that was a highlight reel type of run. That's why he is special. Woo! That was exciting. I felt him. I thought they should have brought pressure to him to heat him up like they did the play before, but they didn't. And look at the vision. Seeing, looking, getting downfield. Good ball security, athletic ability. Boy, that reminds me of a Donovan McNabb or a Michael Vick kind of play. That elusive quarterback is something that makes it tough for a defense to deal with. And he got just enough. They did not even bother to measure for the first down, so a big 3rd down conversion for the Golden Lions. Hands off to Dean. He avoids one tackler, gets around the end, and turns a negative into a positive. Mickey Dean. Woo, Mickey Dean. That move reminded me of a guy by the name of Marshall Falk. Watch the start and stop. Oh, he side lateral outside. I don't know what you did, but boy, I tell you what, a defensive lineman is a befuddled. He's scared to attack you now. Man, I wish we had somebody here that played with Marshall Falk so they really could compare from seeing him to seeing Mickey Dean, but we'll have to wait for another time. Maybe there might be a guy, but Mickey, nice move, Mickey. They call him the dump truck, but that time he looked like the scat back extraordinaire. 8:25 remaining here in the second quarter. So pleased you could join us. HBCU football presented by the U.S. Navy right here on CSTV. Roland Williams, I'm Jonathan Coachman, and right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they averaged almost 28 points a game a year ago. They have been shut out. The air out over the middle and just a little bit too far. That time it was intended for number 87, Demetrius Beverly. He was open, but just a little bit too much juice by Wallace. It was a lot too much juice. And right now I know that Coach Mo really wants to get his young quarterback going. He coming off that Offensive Player of the Year performance last year. Last year this was the best offense in the conference. And now I'm looking and I'm not seeing that. And I know they want to get him going. Chris, you got to settle down. We're just not getting it done in the passing game. 3rd down and 6. As they bring Beverly back onto the field. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Wallace goes back to pass. He's got a man open across the way. It's Jones. He stiff arms one guy, gets up past the 42, and just enough again for another first down. And when you get Jones in open field, he can be very, very dangerous. You got to get back to the fundamentals. If you want to get an offense revitalized and get it going, stick with the fundamentals. Jason Jones, this ran a simple crossing route. This is simple pitch and catch, but with athletic ability, you can get upfield. You can make a first down. You got to keep it simple right now to build some momentum and get off the snide here in the first half. Chains move. First down. It was marked at the 44. 4 wide receivers for Wallace this time. Wide receiver screen. Up past midfield. Still on his feet. Complete that time to number 86, Raymond Weber. And about 15 on the play into Delta Devils territory, and another first down. That was a confidence builder. Wallace getting a chance to get the ball out. Simply a nice little simple dump off, gain of some major yards. Again, this is the momentum that you got to get if you want to revitalize and get this offense going. Keep it simple. Take 3 or 4 yards, let your receivers make some plays. And that time Weber did an excellent job of catching and running with his head down.
Wallace. Again, the same play. Another good block, this time to number 87, Demetrius Beverly. And that play seems to be wide open. And that time, big yards again. 8 that time, second down and 2.
That's what you want to do. Go back to the well. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Keep going. You throw the ball out there. If defensive backs don't want to make tackles, you got to take it. That's just like a run. That's same as run. Gain those little yards and keep moving the ball downfield.
The Golden Lions have been in Delta Devils territory here in the first half a couple of times. One time ending with a bad miss on a field goal. And that runs straight up the middle, a little bit short of a first down. And the other time ending with a fumble by Chris Wallace after a big gift from the referees.
When you turn the ball over, you have a minimum chance of winning any football game. And right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff is off to a horrendous start with turnovers. And now offensively, even if they're able to score here, this still is something that they have to correct, because these turnovers, they just happen in phases.
Mississippi Valley.
There is a timeout on the field. Mississippi Valley State taking a break. And we will take a break too. Arkansas Pine-Bluff trying to get on the scoreboard. Their drive continues when we come back. We are back, a beautiful, balmy, muggy day here in the Delta, just south of Memphis, Tennessee. 6:54 remaining in the second quarter. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, their drive continues. First down and 10 at the Delta Devils 32. The fade route to Jones, and that's got to be a flag, you bet. That man was all over him, and that man was Pierre Marshall. Jones had a step, and Marshall did what he had to do to prevent a touchdown.
Well, Marshall might have been sleepwalking a little bit on that play coming out of the TV break. Good job of just throwing the ball up and making something happen. Jason Jones had the reception if he didn't get help.
Pass interference. On the defense, number 24 will go 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Folks, coming up in a little bit at halftime, we'll take one more look at the last play.
When I look and see the ball in the air, obviously he held him. He felt like he was a little beat. He had to make a play. Last year, Pierre Marshall tied the SWAC in interceptions with 7. That time he was going to get scorched for 7. So he did a good job of just holding them and living to fight another day.
A lot of penalties here in the first half on both sides of the football. So now first down inside the red zone at the 19. Dean gets the call, gets a couple of good blocks, lowers the shoulder and gets all the way down to the 11. Coming up at the half, we're going to send it to the CSTV Fieldhouse for the CSTV Football Nation halftime show. My man Adam Zucker and Scott Zolak standing by with scores and highlights in the first big Saturday of college football across the nation.
We're sure starting out a big one over here, man. This is good football.
Coming up after us, Baylor at number 22, TCU in Fort Worth. So that'll definitely be a game that you want to stick around for. Then we go to UTEP later on tonight at 10 o'clock. They take on New Mexico. Dean gets the call again. The line pushes inside the 10. It appears to be enough for another first down. And wouldn't you say that this would be an opportunity or a situation that they need to score a touchdown? They got to have that success. And there you see the games coming up tonight, a big Saturday here on CSTV.
This drive has been so important to Arkansas Pine-Bluff for a lot of reasons. One, because of the turnovers, but two, this is a chance to get the offense that led the SWAC in scoring up and doing something positive. This is their first good drive of the whole game.
And they marked it just short of the first down, but Dean gets the surge again. This time, no doubt that it's a first down, so they'll mark it at about the 7. So first down and goal for Arkansas Pine-Bluff as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. They've been shut out to this point. Mississippi Valley State started the game very, very nicely, scoring a touchdown off of a turnover, and then they kicked the field goal, and that's where we still stand as we approach halftime.
Golden Lions have to feel good about this drive, something to build on, something to get some momentum going.
Mickey Dean still in there at halfback in the I formation. He'll get the call again. A big hole, and Mickey Dean, touchdown, Golden Lions.
Mickey Dean was a big part of that entire drive, running the ball hard, showing the elusiveness, showing the tough running. They say he runs sort of like a big, strong dump truck.
Wait a second, there is a flag down on the play, and you bet hold the phone. That touchdown is going to come back holding on Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And the missteps continue.
Holding on the offense. Number 70, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Terrence Billings is the culprit of the holding penalty. Let's take a look at it. There you see big number 70.
He's pulling around and he's kicking out that safety. That's a smaller guy. That's a little man. You don't got to hold the little guys. Just knock him out. You can't even see him on the screen.
And in that situation, he would not have been able to make the play anyway. But they call it a hold. It probably was. So they'll move it back to the 18. First down and goal from the 18. Take the 6 off the board.
Sure hate when a play is killed and the block didn't even matter.
The block is picked up, but that man was not. Coming in from the backside, big number 75, John Price, the 250-pound senior, and the drive continues to move backwards.
Well, John Price right there ran a nice stunt, came around hard and just beat Torres, getting to the ball, being aggressive. You know, he's I thought he was more than 255. He's about 275. He's a senior, but he's a senior with a motor.
They just give me bad info. I got to go. I got to go with my eyes. Well, they said Golarski was only a $185 too, and he goes a good 250. So anyway, we'll back it up to the 24. And it'll be second down, well, officially at the 23. And after the, what was a touchdown, the holding call and the sack. And now they'll run the screen pass inside the 20, inside the 15, still on his feet at the 5, inside the 5, down to the 4. That's Kenneth Esau. And a well-designed and well-blocked play for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And wasn't that well designed? Right now, we have 3rd and 20-something. There's not too much you can do. The screen was worked to perfection. You get it out to the running back, a nice scat back, he gets upfield. Looks so pretty when the screen works.
So now they have a chance. 3rd down and goal from the 4. And we'll see what Big Mo calls in from the sidelines. Number 6, Ryan Watley, is the lone wide receiver. And Dean is the deep back. Wallace to Dean, and nowhere for him. Oh, he stays on his feet. He's at the 5, and still again he is ridden down. Great pursuit that time. And you know what? Big John Price made 2 tackles that time. If we run the replay, he made the first tackle, and then he made the second tackle.
Big John Price, the senior, he's showing up, coming screaming down the line.
There's one.
I was going to say great tackle, but no, you got to wrap him up. But he didn't give up on the play. He got up off the ground. He's steadily working, hustling. The team swarm. That's overall team defense, though. There wasn't too many places for Dean to go, no matter what happened with Price. There was no place for Dean to go. Good team defense right there.
John Heflin from 22 yards out. Preseason first team selection. And finally, the Golden Lions are on the board. With 2:11 remaining here before halftime, it is now 10-3 Mississippi Valley State. So although they didn't get into the end zone because of the penalty, at least they got something on the board heading into halftime.
They can at least take a sigh of relief to say the offense that was the best in the SWAC conference last year can do something. And that's all you need. You need them to do something in this first half to give you something, because without that, Coach Forte, Big Mo, was going to be in there going off like none other at halftime.
I wish we could have a camera in the locker room at halftime, because I can assure you that it will not be quiet. I can assure you that the voices will be raised.
Yes.
It's going to be loud in there. It will be loud out here, because the bands are both here in full fashion.
I think we just got to get a close-up on the center, Patrick Caponier, the quarterback, coming out of the locker room. Let's just get a tight visual on their face. That'll sort of tell the whole story.
So now Heflin will put the ball down and get set to put his foot into it. Mississippi Valley State will try and engineer a scoring drive of their own here before halftime. Clarence Cotton takes it at his 10. And he comes straight up the middle and then cuts to the near side. And that was a pretty good cut. Stays on his feet. And a flag comes in for a late hit. And I don't know if I agree with this call, and I'll explain to you in a minute why.
Well, there's something that the Delta Devils got away with. There's a little holding in the back and it didn't get called.
Well,
so, boy, it's hometown cooking.
They're going to call a late hit here, but what happened was Cotton ran out of bounds, came back in bounds, lowered his own shoulder, and so there was no way for the man to know that he'd gone out of bounds. So
after the play was over, personal foul, number 84 on the kicking team, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So a break for the Delta Devils. Let's look at it one more time.
Well, a defensive player has to be aware of where he is in the field. Are you kidding me? They're 3-4 yards in the sideline.
Maybe I take back what I just said.
You're 3-4 yards in the sideline.
All right, I made a mistake.
Are you going to know that you can't make a tackle out there? Come on.
All right, well, the ball is marked at the 44 of the Golden Lions. Roberts in again at quarterback, and he's got 4 wide receivers. Back to pass, plenty of time, still plenty of time. He has a man wide open and dropped. Dropped by number 11, Rob Fox, and the ball was right there. He didn't have any pressure on him, and he just took his eyes off the ball.
Well, can you spread some love? Thaddeus Coleman, number 76, left tackle, offensive line. Tremendous job of giving time for your quarterback to make a decision. He sat back there, read a book, looked around, laughed, threw the ball, the receiver dropped it.
So 2nd down and 10. Low snap, no problem for Roberts. Again, plenty of time, and now he's going to scramble, and he gets a big-time block. Wow. Give credit to number 36, Manuel Brand. He's not big, 5'11", $180, but listen to this.
He sure packs a big stick. Let's listen up.
Wow.
Stand up.
He saved his quarterback from getting hit in a major way. So a short gain, 3rd down and 7, a $114 and counting. Roberts back to pass. Again, a very nice pocket. He throws a bullet and a great catch by number 86. That's Brandon Stargell. And the clock will stop as the chains move, but what a beautiful pitch and catch.
Nice protection, strong, solid throw. And Brandon Stargell, he's from Pine-Bluff, okay? He's from Pine-Bluff. Felt a little slighted because he wasn't drafted by, recruited by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He would love to make plays out here. This feels extra special to him to make a big play.
First down at the 23, and the handoff to the lone back surprised the defense. Good yardage. That time, Terrence Page with the carry. So the clock still running. 42 seconds. Mississippi Valley State with 2 timeouts, and they decide to use one of their 2 remaining to make sure that they get the play call that they want. So 32 seconds on the clock before halftime. Don't forget, coming up at the half, we'll send it back to the Fieldhouse in New York City for the CSTV Football Nation halftime report. All the highlights from the early games here on the first Saturday, Labor Day weekend across the country. So your thoughts here on the first half as the Delta Devils try to add to their 7-point lead?
I'm really happy for Coach Willie Totten to come in sort of being the underdog in this game. Even though you're at home, you're the underdog, but he came in and played fundamentally sound special teams. The offense has been surprisingly well, putting Paul Roberts in great position to make plays, and defensively they've been opportunistic. This is a half you can be happy for if you're the Delta Devils or a fan of the Delta Devils or a fan of the underdog. You got to love what they did in this first half.
They had 10 points in the first 7+ minutes and have been unable to get on the scoreboard since, but this has been their best drive since the first couple, and we are just about back to action. Roberts back out on the field in the shotgun and the normal 4 wide receiver set that he has used most of the first half. Roberts floats one down the middle of the field and just a little bit too far, intended for Cotton, and there was a lot of pressure that time from number 5, Michael Witherspoon.
You got to get some pressure to a quarterback in the red zone. Don't let him sit back and just have lunch and look around and have a good time. You got to give him a little pressure. That time the pressure, but he did release the ball and had a good thought for getting it in the middle of the field. Again, good decision making. You just want to make the throw.
Keep an eye again on number 35. There's man-on-man coverage on 3 of the 4 wide receivers. He is the man in the slot on the far side. Again, over the middle, 35 catches it. Clarence Cotton inside the 10. Clock stops with 24 seconds remaining, and it's hard to guard that guy one-on-one.
It's very difficult to guard any man that has elusive ability, that can run a good, strong route. And Paul Roberts stared him down the whole route, wasn't looking for nobody else but him. Get him going after a few drops early.
Roberts hands it off, and this one is going to go nowhere, and they're going to be forced to call their final timeout as the clock is down to 17 seconds. A little confusion down there.
Mississippi Valley, that's their last time out of the half.
Terrence Page, nowhere for him to go, and now they're going to be forced to go for the field goal attempt with no timeouts remaining.
Going to go for the field goal attempt, but that's a young running back, Terrence Page, trying to do a little bit too much, a little extra. They had the ball right towards the center of the field, and when you're trying to run for that extra yard and trying to get outside and do a little extra, people have been watching Reggie Bush a lot. You know, it doesn't put you down on the right hash instead of being right in the middle for that field goal.
Well, they have decided to bring the offense back out onto the field, Rowan, and there's officially 9.8 seconds remaining on the stadium clock. And if you're going to bring your offense back, that tells me you're going to do one thing. You're going to throw it into the end zone. If you don't, it's a bad time management mistake not to do that. So if I'm a defensive coordinator on the other side of the football, I'm telling my guys, watch for the fade route, watch for the route down the middle, but they're not going to throw it short this time.
You better not throw it short, or else that was a waste of a timeout. I don't know. I think it's a chess match right now. I think he's thinking on what he wants to do. With 9 seconds left, I don't know. I might want to take that field goal, you know, and just go up 10 points.
The way the defenses have played here in the first half, 3 points is a lot of points. It makes it a 2-score game, but you got to believe that the Golden Lions offense will wake up in the second half. So now 9.8 seconds to go. Mississippi Valley State out of timeouts. Second down and goal from back at the 15. 4 wideouts for Roberts. Back to pass. Throws it into the end zone. He has a man out there. Touchdown, Delta Devils. Number 89, Abner Brown, and a beautifully thrown ball from Roberts. Brown open in the end zone, and the gamble paid off for Willie Totten.
Great decision-making by Paul Roberts, sitting back there and waiting for that one to unfold. That was a in route, a slant route coming inside, coming out with a corner route to the outside. Took time to progress in that zone, and Paul Roberts put a ball right on the money, and they are excited. This is exactly what Mississippi Valley State wanted to have happen. This is exactly what didn't want to have happen for the Golden Lions.
Well, and Abner Brown just forgot that he's on the kick team, and that kick is blocked, and the whistles blow, and there was a lot of confusion because Abner Brown is on the extra point team. He was so busy celebrating that they just ran some money on at the end. But let's take a look again at that touchdown pitch and catch.
Well, he high-pointed the ball, but the work was done before this route was even ran. He took time in being patient. Roberts took time to let it unravel. You had a two-choice option on that one, and when Brown came out of the route, he was already open. Ball was in the air before he even came out the break.
So we'll see if that blocked extra point comes back to haunt Mississippi Valley State in the second half. But right now, there is a lot of hugging. There are a lot of smiles. And at halftime here with 3 seconds remaining, a score that I think shocks a lot of us here. The host Delta Devils on top of the high-powered, offensive-minded Golden Lions, 16-3.
You said there's a lot of laughing and hugging and happiness on that side. Guess what's happening on the other side with the Golden Lions right now? What do you think's going on over there?
Well, it frowns and unhappiness, and they're getting ready to go into a locker room that I would not want to be in if I play for Mo Forte. But there is a reason you play two halves, and the Delta Devils have dominated this first half. Jason Jones picks up the kick, and he's going to be tackled at the 43. And that's going to do it for the first half. A half that was dominated by Mississippi Valley State. At the half, they lead it 16-3. We're going to send it to New York City, the Fieldhouse. Adam Zucker and Scott Zolak. Guys, take it away. We'll see you after the half.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coachman, and welcome everybody inside the Fieldhouse here in New York on CSTV Football Nation. Adam Zucker alongside Scott Zolak. The Z team is back.
Good to be back, buddy.
Fall is underway.
About that time of year. Let's get it going.
It is, and the Delta Devils are up 16-3. We start our tour around the country with the defending champs from Florida, and after spending his freshman season as that celebrity heartthrob backup quarterback who made big plays, Tim Tebow, now the starter for Urban Meyer and the Gators, number 6 to begin the season up against Western Kentucky. And Tebow coming out like a quarterback who can pass and run. It's 49-3. They are in a weather delay right now. 4 TDs, though, 3 pass and a rushing touchdown, trying to get their 18th straight season opening win. One of the touchdown passes, a 59-yarder. Remember the team the Gators beat in the championship? Ohio State and Jim Tressel's old team. 38-6, the Buckeyes beat up on Youngstown State. And Michigan State, under the coaching of Mark D'Antonio now, who left Cincinnati, beating UAB 55-18. So, Zolak, how about Mr. Tebow coming in under center?
It's good to be a heartthrob quarterback when you're the backup, but you look at the transformation. Now all the pressure's on Tim Tebow. I thought Urban Meyer did a good job this offseason. You could tell Tim Tebow's not trying to throw the football through the wall. He has a real deliberate throwing motion. He's touching in there. His touch game looks better, which means good news for Florida fans, bad news for the rest of the SEC.
And he might have gotten a little fired up. One of those backup linemen from Western Kentucky, a little cheap shot on the sideline.
Yeah, but he stood in there and took it, man. He didn't go down, so you got to like that from your quarterback.
Yeah, he takes it with a smile. And as we continue here on CSTV Football Nation, would Michigan fall at home to the champs from the other subdivision? Plus, the cheers and tears as football returns to Blacksburg. How would the Hokies handle the emotion of their first game back?
Get big arms, a ripped chest, and cut abs with the perfect push-up. The perfect push-up works with the natural rotation of your arms and shoulders to maximize results and minimize stress on your body. With the perfect push-up, your hands, arms, and shoulders rotate 90 degrees, just like in a punch. All the energy of a push-up is captured and transmitted right where you want it, to the muscles. There's no wasted effort, just muscle-building movement. And as your arms rotate, you feel it work in your biceps, your triceps, your chest and abs, and your shoulders. Invented by a U.S. Navy SEAL and made with steel and a ball-bearing movement, it's the push-up perfected. So here's the deal. The perfect push-up is only 2 payments of $19.95. When you order, you'll receive 2 perfect push-up rotational handles, and you'll also receive the Navy SEAL-inspired perfect push-up workout chart. You'll be ripped in no time. Get big fast. Call right now for the perfect push-up.
Call 1-800-640-6823.
Take an insightful look ahead at the week in college football. Watch Crystal Ball, Wednesday at 7, only on CSTV.
In the old days, shopping for car insurance meant going to company after company, filling out form after form, and getting quotes one at a time.
HBCU football, presented by the U.S. Navy, is being brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Under Armour. Under Armour, the advantage is undeniable. And right now, the Mississippi Valley State Band is on the field. We are at halftime. Mississippi Valley State leading Arkansas Pine-Bluff 16-3. As we bring you upstairs, I am the coach, Jonathan Coachman. He is Roland Williams, and this was a game really that Arkansas Pine-Bluff came in, and we thought they would dominate. They fumbled the opening kickoff, and the Delta Devils wasted no time, Roland, in getting on the scoreboard.
That's right. Turnovers are a big part of this game. If you turn the ball over in the game, you have a tough chance to win, and those guys, Paul Roberts, quarterback, getting the ball going to the freshman, Ronald Brewer, scoring. Mississippi Valley came to play ball, and that's exciting to see when you're at home defending yourself. And turnovers and sloppy play, if you're the best offense in the SWAC, you cannot do that. And the opportunistic defense of Mississippi Valley capitalized on it this whole entire first half. This is disgusting. There was a lot of conversation going on at halftime. They better get better. Best offense in the SWAC, they better show it.
And the last touchdown with only 3 seconds remaining to Abner Brown. That made the score 16-3 in our first half statistics. And there you see the big number on the left side of the screen, the 2 turnovers.
If you turn the ball over twice in the first half, your chance of winning a game is very, very tough, very slim. So in this second half, I bet you a lot of things are going to happen. You're going to see a lot more focus. You're going to see a lot more attention to detail, doing the little things to get the ball downfield. If you're playing right now for the Delta Devils, you got to feel good about yourself and just keep maintaining.
And if you're still in that locker room for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, what is Coach Forte saying to his squad? They're down 13 against a team that, quite frankly, they thought they would run over here this afternoon.
He's saying that you're too good. We got too much talent on offense. We're too good at special teams. When seniors are fumbling the ball, that's a problem. When your seniors aren't getting it done, you got to start soul searching. You got to focus and get better in the second half.
Well, we'll find out if they do just that. Big Row has spoken. Second half kickoff when we come back. You bet it's Act 2. We're just about set for the start of the second half. The teams have just come out of the locker rooms, and we are set for the start of the third quarter. Mississippi Valley State will receive the second half kickoff, and they lead by 13, so a great opportunity, Big Rope, for them to add to this 13-point lead right out of the gate.
Well, I tell you what, on the other side of the ball, the Golden Lions, I know they're comeback ready because their band, if you just missed it at halftime, their band is ready. Their band came out and put it down, man. That was a great performance. Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Love that band.
That's the great part about HBCU football.
Oh, that was great.
The bands are a huge part of it. There you see the 2 head coaches, Mo Forte and Willie Totten on your left, and Willie Totten has got to be very pleased with the way his team came out. 1 rushing touchdown and that passing touchdown with only 3 seconds remaining before halftime gave his team the 13-point lead. So Clarence Cotton is going to go back to receive this second half kickoff. And again, very pleased that you could join us here on a Saturday afternoon on Labor Day weekend, because we are excited to be here, and there's really no place we would rather be. Although the mosquitoes are big, we're dealing with it.
That's what football is about, man. Be out here. We're outside. We're not inside the air conditioning where a lot of those other guys do the games. We're out here really getting into the elements.
We're hardcore, baby.
Hardcore.
We're hardcore.
Hardcore football.
That's what we do. All right. And par the course, a delay to start the second half. But the whistle blows, and here we go. The big question, can the team that was picked to finish first in the Western Division of the SWAC Conference come back, or will they lose their first game of the year that's also a conference game?
Here at Rice Totten Stadium, the legacy
Itabena, Mississippi. If you don't know where that is, you've never been here.
The legacy, great players.
It is a lot of these little towns, and what a shock. Oh, my goodness. I swear to you, I've never in my life, I'll just put it out there, had to stretch more than I have today.
Well, sometimes you got to stretch. I mean, you're here at a big-time game. It's excitement, the capacity crowd. They love football.
The new rule this year that they moved the kickoff back to the 30 has really brought the kickoff returner into play more than it has been in the past. Cotton takes it at the 12, and he's going to come straight up the middle, and he turns on the Jets, and he is not stopped until the 39. So good field position, and Paul Roberts, number 1, trots back onto the field, and he had a very efficient first half of play.
They celebrate the fact that he's a good decision maker, that he's good in the short intermediate passing game, and he's been getting everybody involved. The offensive coordinator, Ricky Carson, has been putting him in position to win, and those yards, although they're not gaudy numbers, they're good enough numbers to give the advantage to the Delta Devils.
He's not a quarterback, Big Row, that is going to throw for 300 yards in a game, but he's going to keep you in the game.
That's all you want from a quarterback. Be a good decision maker. Bend but don't break.
And on the first play, the ball went on the ground, but he was able to jump on it. And in the first half, when you have the first game of the season, we had a lot of penalties. We had a lot of mistakes.
The sloppy plays were on the other side of the ball. The Golden Lions made most of the sloppy decisions. Overall, Paul Roberts has been efficient. That last play just wasn't what we were talking about, but besides that.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I'm going, wow, fumble. Second down, 11. Roberts, again, good pass protection. Plenty of time, pulls it down, breaks the tackle, eludes another tackler, still on his feet, still going, all the way up to the 44, a hard run. And not exactly what you would call form tackling on that play.
Not form tackling, but a good, smart decision by Paul Roberts to have the pass play, but bring the ball down and know when to take it and run with the ball. He's looking downfield. He doesn't see anything. Do the right thing. Be smart. Put the ball away. Get upfield. And if they're not going to tackle him, a good running back is going to keep running. And right now, as a quarterback, he was playing running back. That's a good, strong game. The running back coach should be proud of.
That is where those running drills come into play. You remember those? Dragging the stuff on your back. The extra 2 or 3 yards to keep going. And so now 3rd down and 5. Defense needs a stop. Roberts back to pass. He's got a man wide open in the flat. He just doesn't see him. Wide open in the flat. Instead, over the middle, it is complete. Enough for a first down that time. Completed to number 89. That's Abner Brown, the same man who scored the touchdown at the end of the first half.
Sometimes those quarterbacks have reads where they have to go from one receiver to the next to the third. And sometimes the guy that was in the flat, he was a 4th read, so the quarterback's not looking that direction. He's looking where he's supposed to look, making good decisions. Threw that ball across the body, which is a dangerous throw at times. But that time it worked out well, right across the middle field again. Crisp decision-making, moving the ball down the field.
The Delta Devils move into Golden Lions territory. Hand off to the second back through. Inside the 45, down to the 44. On the run that time, Joey Hargray. And Hargray is a man who was punished in the first half. He is a very, very good runner and made a mistake, got in a little bit of trouble, but they would set him for the first half, and now he'll be back here in the second half.
He's fresh, though. You got a young guy that's fresh. You got a guy that wants to prove something now, wants to catch up for lost time. So I'd like to give him the ball. Let the guy get going.
2nd and 6, play action. And they're going deep down the middle, double coverage. The ball up, and the ball drops. It was up there forever, and Kevin Thornton, number 7, was just waiting for it to come down, and his own man prevented him from catching the interception.
This time, nobody was open downfield. Roberts made a poor decision. And this one was sort of like, when you're playing baseball and the outfielders and guys like knock into each other, nobody catches the ball. It was an easy grab. Come on, make that interception. Come on, Golden Lions. You guys need some turnovers the other way. They should have talked it up. Don't you supposed to say, like, I got it, or you got it, or something? I don't know.
Again, that's a football term.
Baseball.
Or baseball term, I meant.
Baseball. Yeah, like baseball.
All right, third down again. Roberts. Plenty of time. He's got a man and throws behind his intended wide receiver, Rob Fox. And that will bring the punting unit on, and the drive stalls for the Delta Devils.
That was not the fault of the offensive line, I tell you that, this whole series. Plenty of time. Thaddeus Coleman, Joshua Brown, right guard. It was the right side that time. Nelson Bedell.
And our favorite new college football player, the big man, Zach Galarski.
It's a big punter.
Into punt, number 19 for the Delta Devils. No rush whatsoever, and a little pooch punt, and it's going to be taken at the 15, up past the 25. Martell Mallet was back there to return the punt. So some work to do for the Golden Lions. We'll be back early here in the third.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
Mr. Bush, room 619. Mr. Manning, 1818.
This is Reggie Bush. Can you send up 10 lobsters, please?
This is Peyton Manning. Can you send me a 30-foot-long catfish po' boy, please?
Can I get someone up here with enough chili to fill up my bathtub?
Peyton Manning, number 18.
It's Colts versus Saints on NFL Opening Kickoff, presented by Sprint. Thursday, September 6th, with John Mellencamp, Faith Hill, and Kelly Clarkson live. The NFL Opening
We are back, 11:42 remaining here in the third quarter. Mississippi Valley State on top, 16-3. And now let's take a look at the HBCU Athlete of the Week presented by the U.S. Navy. And it's a senior from Albany State, Brian Porter. 14 carries, 116 yards in a 16-10 win that, coincidentally enough, I was there for. And North Carolina Central had an opportunity on the last play of the game to win that game, but the pass was knocked down in the end zone. So back to action here on this field, and Martell Mallet, who was out for much of the second quarter because of an injury, is back in the game, and he gets the first carry of the second half. And let's take a look at a bioblast of Mr. Mallet, and preseason first team all SWAC last year, 6 100-yard games.
He's a player that again, they call him the snake because of his elusiveness. He's able to make plays inside and outside, and he's from the area, so he's like grew up like loving Pine-Bluff. You know, he's a Golden Lion, been that way since he was a kid.
4 wide receivers on second down. Wallace, wide receiver screen to Jones, catches it in stride. And that's when you get positive yardage, and Jones appears to maybe have pulled a hamstring. He got up holding his hamstring, and he's going to come out. We'll keep an eye on him, but the chains do move. First down. And your assessment of Chris Wallace in the first half?
My assessment of Chris Wallace has been sloppy. He's coming off of a great season last year, but now he's having some issues. You know, the ball, the center exchange, and some of the throws he's overthrowing, and the decision-making isn't where you want it. I know he has to come in and settle down the second half to show why they are the preseason favorites in this conference.
Hand off to the up back, the quick hitter, out to about the 43, so a good gain on first down. You saw before that play, Jason Jones on the sidelines trying to get stretched out, and in heat like this, Big Ro, I don't know how many times, you know, playing in St. Louis and Oakland, you got to play in heat like this and playing in the Carrier Dome back at Syracuse, but what does it do to your body, and why do you cramp up so much?
The humidity makes it tough. You lose those things called electrolytes, and so it's important that you get hydrated. Guys get IVs before the game. You got to make sure you just stay on top of it because you're expending a lot of energy out on the field.
And the second back through, that's number 34, Boyce Mitchell, who got the carry. And again, Good yardage, enough for a first down into Delta Devils territory.
Again, this is positive yards. This is what you want to see. Jordan Lowe giving good blocks on the right-hand side and letting running backs get going. Again, this is not glamorous. You can't throw the ball as much. Chris Wallace hasn't been doing that well, but this is a good decision by Coach Mo Forte to let's get that running game going. Let's find a way to score some points.
First down at the Mississippi Valley State 46. Wallace hands off again. But this time the defensive line was waiting for that play, led by big number 95, Daniel Clay, and also number 55 in on the play, Fred Poole.
I think those guys got the memo. They're trying to get a running game going, and I don't think they want that to happen. Not in their watch. Good play, Poole.
Kenneth Esau got that carry. So now after the 3-yard gain, it'll back it up to the 48.5. A little over 6 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. 16-3, Delta Devils. Play action. Wallace being chased from behind and just throws it out of bounds. And again, you called that number the last time, 55, Fred Poole, causing the pressure and nowhere for Chris Wallace to go with it.
Fred Poole and the defense, they did a good job of staying poised, staying where you're supposed to be, not getting out of bounds. He came to balance. He almost lost that tackle, but reaching out there, got the jersey, and the quarterback. Chris Wallace, you can't make that. Don't throw that ball. Bad things normally happen. Poole, good job of being in the right place at the right time and breaking down enough to make the tackle, even though it wasn't pretty.
The young man from Cleveland, Ohio. And I really don't believe that the Arkansas Pine-Bluff coaches or players, for that matter, thought that Mississippi Valley State would be this strong defensively. Wallace has a man over the middle. He was rushed and just led his receiver too much. He was headed for Demetrius Beverly. He was very disgusted after the play, but that pressure is really getting to the quarterback.
Pressure works. Defensive coordinator Dennis Winston doesn't want to let SWAC's best, highest scoring offense get going. They're doing a good job of keeping them off kilter, being aggressive, coming at them, showing them different looks. The players are involved, guys like Fred Poole and Ronald Green. Defensively, they're feeling good right now because Arkansas Pine-Bluff is the best. That was the highest scoring offense in the conference last year, and they're holding them to 3 points in the third quarter.
Heflin into punt. Cotton standing back at his own 10. The wind has picked up a little bit as this afternoon has gone by. Heflin puts his foot into it. Cotton will come up and take it at the 15. A flag is thrown, and it's going to be an illegal block in the back. So this one, you can bring it back, and just a mistake that time by number 12, Michael Higgins on the return team. It happened right in front of the referee. Pretty obvious, so that'll back them up 10, and they will be backed up deep into their own territory.
Worst place to make a mistake.
Illegal block in the back. On the punt return, number 12, Mississippi Valley, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So the Delta Devils take over after the stoppage. So 8:12 to go here in the third. The score remains 16-3. Home team on top.
Hey, boss, do we have Aflac?
Nah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Nah.
Good, Aaron. Cow.
Cow!
Yes, sweetie, cow.
Cow!
Paul, where are the burgers?
A free Chick-fil-A sandwich and Coke for the first million to register at freechickenandcoke.com.
First and goal to go on the 2.
back, and what you just missed, the first play from scrimmage, Paul Roberts went back to pass, and he was hit and fumbled, and turnover inside the 5, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff takes over with a huge opportunity to score.
That was a big mistake by the quarterback, Paul Roberts. His first real big mistake. Ladarius Anthony capitalizing on it. That's exactly what they needed. A big play to be made, and a play was made. The Golden Lions, boy. Oh,
we
man.
all got caught off guard. It's okay.
Man, it was so much excitement. It happened so fast.
John Sibley was in on the play as well, so now it's first down and goal at the 2. And a flag flies, and the play clocks that
practice snap, delay game, number 17 on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
The play clocks have been working and not working here this afternoon, so it's been difficult for us to really tell how much time is left on each play. That time, obviously, they took too much time, and that's just really an unforced mistake. And now it's first down and goal at the 7, and it may not appear like much, but that's a huge mistake.
It's a big mistake, but this whole last series of plays has been confusing. It's been confusing all over the place. We're coming in, the ball's getting turned over, sloppy. We got to get it going.
Wallace back to pass. He's got nobody out there. He's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to be tackled all the way back at the 10. He only had one man in the route, but unfortunately there were 7 defenders out there covering the one man.
But when you have that, come on, Chris Wallace, you're going to look back on film and say, what was I thinking? Give him the ball. He's open now, but if you don't do it, get rid of it. Don't take that ball and gain pretty much nothing.
I know. We got to regroup. We got to regroup.
Chris, we got to regroup.
Second down and goal. The ball is marked back just inside the 10-yard line. As the clock starts, 3 wide receivers for Chris Wallace, who just has been unable to get on track today. Back to pass, quick hit, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. What number? You bet. That man has come to play, especially here in the second half. Knocks down the pass, and now third down and goal.
Fundamentals. You get taught this in fundamentals in high school. When he throws the ball, raise your hands up. You might get lucky. That ball had a low trajectory anyway. Hit him in the face mask, which means that ball didn't have too much of a chance anyway. I got to take that back to Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace, we got to throw better balls. Fred Poole, way to be opportunistic and way to get them hands up.
Preseason Offensive Player of the Year in the WAC, number 17, has not played like it today, but we've got an entire second half, but this third quarter is going by pretty quick.
University of Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
So, and they don't like something that they saw, and we are going to take a break, and hopefully we don't miss anything. 5:46 remaining. Oh, it's been fun today. The Golden Lions trail by 13.
Athletic performance, lightweight, sporty design, sport-tuned suspension, and an advanced CVT transmission to keep you running smoothly. Introducing the all-new 270 horsepower V6 Nissan Altima Coupe. True performance, true technology, true coupe.
This is you after an energy drink. Unfortunately, so is this. Why do energy drinks make you crash? 1 minute you're wired up, the next you feel worse than before. The answer is large amounts of sugar and caffeine. That's why you should try a new liquid energy shot called 5-Hour Energy. With 5-Hour Energy, you can leave grogginess behind and sail through your day without feeling jittery, tense, or you know. That's because 5-Hour Energy contains a powerful blend of B vitamins for energy, amino acids for focus and better mood, and enzymes to help you feel it faster. There's 0 sugar, about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, and only 8 calories. The 2-ounce shot takes just seconds to drink, and in minutes you're feeling awake, alert, and productive. And that feeling lasts for hours. So if your energy drink makes you crash, switch to 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. Find out if 5-Hour Energy is right for you. It's available at these fine stores. Or for more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
Listen to Dolly. That's their last time on the half. Delay game. Number 17, on the offense, 5-yard zone.
First big play of this third quarter, 3rd down and goal, 5:49 remaining. Arkansas Pine-Bluff trying to capitalize on the fumble inside the 5. The toss, and we'll see if the man was down before he got into the end zone. It was completed to Lance Lemons, the wide receiver. He lost his balance, his knee hit inside the 1. What do you do?
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations, Chris Wallace, for making a big-time throw. You came out the pocket, you got your eyes downfield, you delivered a rifle right on the money in stride to a receiver. Congratulations, man, for showing up.
But he threw it a little lower, would have been a touchdown. So
I don't know. Receiver got it. Don't fall down, receiver. Best bend your hands down, catch the ball, and get up there.
Okay, here we go. 4th down and goal inside the 1. I formation. Dean is back in as the I back. He gets it, and he gets stacked up. Not even close. Nobody was fooled. They had it 1st and goal at the 2 after a turnover, and they couldn't score. Mississippi Valley State dodges another bullet.
I thought that all the momentum in the world there was for the Golden Lions to punch that one in. I didn't even feel like, them taking a shot on that last play was even a big challenge. All the momentum was headed their way. Everybody had bought in except for the Delta Devils. Everybody bought in. There's nothing there. You can't squeeze nothing in there. There's no more toothpaste in that tooth. There's nothing left in there. That's just a phenomenal job by Jerry Morris, the whole team being tight inside, no gaps, gap control.
And there is a man down, and that's Dean.
Oh.
And the way they're working on him, looks like he probably has cramps. We're looking at a player who was out the entire 2006 season with a high ankle sprain, had a medical red shirt, and came back today for the first time, and replacing Martell Mallett, who is seems like that injury to Mallett's a little bit more serious than we thought. And
hey, cramps are tough. Let me just tell you, as a player, I played 8 years in National Football League. When you cramp up, it is a cold red in your life. It's tough. It's hard to think straight. You know what I mean? You need some electrolytes. You need some love. You need to rub it out. You got to do something. It's a problem. And
you tack on the fact he just took a big-time hit at the 2. And right now, Mickey Dean is feeling the worst for wear. So now the Delta Devils will take over at their own 2 after that big defensive stand. Roberts to the second back through, pushes up to the 5 so they get a little bit of breathing room. We are inside of 5 minutes here in Itamina, Mississippi. There you see last year over 29 points a game. First in the SWAC today. They have managed to this point only 3.
And it's happened because they have not paid attention to fundamentals, poor throws, poor center quarterback exchanges, just not getting it done all the way around.
2nd down, short 6. Power formation for the Delta Devils. Again, a handoff, and they're stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. Folks, we are live in Itamina, Mississippi. Rice Totten Stadium, live here at Football Nation. HBCU football presented by the U.S. Navy. Big Row, Roland Williams. I am Jonathan Coachman, and our stellar CSTV crack staff and crew. So pleased you could join us here. The bands have come. They are in mid-season form. Can't say that about the teams yet, as the penalties, turnovers have kept this game at a moderate 16-3 score. 3rd down. Roberts back in the pocket, over the middle, completed to Abner Brown. He's been the guy that when you need to get a 1st down, you go to. They got just enough that time. The chains move.
It's been a good job of Paul Roberts, putting him in the right position, making a short intermediate passing game. This is where Paul Roberts is best. They're just giving him just makeable throws. He was right in front of him. You just bang him on the shoulder pads, and when you got a reliable receiver, that works like a charm. Works like a charm.
Man, you're a lot of fun to work with. I'm not even going to lie.
Thanks,
First down and 10 at the 12 as they get out from the shadows. And here comes the blitz. They were all over Paul Roberts. A flag is down, and Roberts is down in the backfield. Holding against the Delta Devils, but with the result of the play, you got to believe that they'll decline this penalty.
Yes, they will decline that one. This was a disgusting play in Delta Devil history offensively.
Holding on the offense, number 62. Penalty has been declined.
The Golden Lions decided to bring the house, and it worked, especially number 39 getting in there, Roderick Irvs.
He was untouched. That spells disaster for any offense.
Excuse me, Tim Turner was in there.
Roberts had no choice but just to try to eat it, but when you add a holding on to it, it's just a play you just want to fast forward through the next week in the game film review.
Second down and very long, 22-yard line is the first down marker. Roberts rolling out to his right, gets pressure from behind. He does throw it. It's complete up near the 13 or 14-yard line. We can see that number down there. It was completed to number 86, the man we called a lot in the first half, Brandon Stargell. So there is another man down on the field for this time for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and this is something we knew we would see in the second half with the heat and how hot it is down here. A lot of guys cramping up, and a lot of guys have not had to go at game speed thus far in two-a-days and in August practice.
This is a humid day, and if you weren't hydrated coming into this game, you were going to get tested. You got to keep on drinking and keep those electrolytes in. I don't know if this one per se is a hydration thing. This one seems like a good old-fashioned injury, but moreover, a lot of hits have been coming on quarterback Paul Roberts, too. He's on the other side. I know he's not laying down, but I know he's feeling it after these last couple plays. He's been taking licks to the chops the last few plays.
So the big man is up and walking off. John Sibley, big number 99. So it's going to be a third down and 9 coming up for Mississippi Valley State. And this is a stop that the Golden Lions really need to make and try to get good field position in their next possession. So third down and 9. Cotton comes in motion behind Roberts. They try to run the screen over the middle, and it is complete, I believe, to Brown, but no gain on the play. May have even lost a yard, so now a good defensive possession for the Golden Lions, and they will get the ball back in all likelihood in pretty good field position.
Somebody on defense did a good job of calling that one out. Alert for the screen, because nobody bought it. They were selling a screen and nobody bought it. Purchase denied.
.120 and counting in a very rapidly moving third quarter here in Itamina. And Delarski is going to run this one, and nowhere for him to go. He fumbles, the ball is down on the ground. But nevertheless, it's going to be Arkansas Pine-Bluff football. It was a short snap, and there was nothing he could do but try to run for the first down. And another big opportunity for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
I don't know what he saw when he was looking. Let's take a look. He didn't see, he didn't have any room. It was going to get blocked. The big fullback / linebacker / punter.
Looking for a pass on Mississippi Valley.
Started running, and man, this was no dice for him. I think he tried to do the squirm and throw it forward and make.
Yeah, at the end he thought it was Australian rules football and tried to toss it ahead, and that's something obviously you can't do. So they will march that off towards the goal line. So now Chris Wallace, with less than a minute to play here in the third quarter, will try yet again to get his team into the end zone for the first time this afternoon.
Look at Coach Totten. You know, as a player in the game, he's looking over there saying, what are you doing? Are you getting too comfortable? We're up 16-3. What are you doing over there?
Galarski, he must have been hearing us pump him up throughout the game and thought he could do anything. Galarski, stick to kicking the ball, pal. So here we go. 58 seconds, 1st and 10. They take over inside the red zone. Wallace, hands off inside. Nowhere for that man to go. Kenneth Esau. And I'm really surprised, Big Row, that Mallett must be a lot more injured than what we thought. Mickey Dean just went out with the cramps. So their top 2 running backs that right now are out of the game.
That's right. And now you would hope you can lean on your big-time playmaking quarterback, Chris Wallace, and your big-time receiver, Jason Jones. He hasn't even seen the ball yet this half. You need to try to make a play and get Jason Jones. They're 2 seniors, man. They got to step up and take control of this offense.
I think Jason Jones may be on the sideline with cramps, too. Wallace, a little bit short, intended again in the flat. This time for Demetrius Beverly, and Beverly's been a receiver that's been very unhappy and very demonstrative in his disgust for not getting the ball and not having completed passes. So I'm looking across the way right now, and indeed, Jason Jones is still on the sideline. So your top receiving player and your 2 top running backs now are not able to play.
University of Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Well, and again, well, with 12 seconds to go, they call a timeout, and you've got to wonder, I hate to keep questioning decisions that they're making, but you could have let the clock run down and saved the timeout and started the 4th quarter with all your timeouts left.
You have to question some of those decisions. I think right now the emotional despair of not scoring the points you want to, and Coach Maurice Forte, if you've seen him, he's the guy that's a high emotionally guy. He's high octane, and he's been barking at his guys. You know the halftime was already tough. And so now there has to be some decisions made, and sometimes timeouts help the decisions.
Well, when you think about some of the great players that have come and played in this stadium, there is only one guy that really towers above the rest, and that's Jerry Rice. The stadium is named after him and Willie Totten, and back in the day, this guy could go, and who knew that he would be as good as he turned out to be. But here he was great also.
He knew it. You know, he was a guy that was a hard worker, you know, not highly rated, highly touted, didn't go Division I and all that big stuff, but the heart of Jerry Rice, playing with him for 3 years, he has a heart like none other, and he deserves everything he's got as a player. Just a hard-working guy.
And his workouts are legendary in the NFL. So back to action, 3rd down, fade route. He's got a man in the end zone. Good defense that time out there by number 21, Tommy Seawright. It was a one-on-one coverage and just better defense than it was offense.
Wasn't too much opportunity on that play. I mean, the ball was thrown up and away, but the receiver didn't have that kind of position. That's just a tremendous job by being a defensive back. Don't let him get to position, and then it doesn't matter where he throws the ball. He's nowhere in position to make a play.
So with 6 seconds remaining here in this 3rd quarter, Heflin comes on to try to make it a 16-6 game, a short kick. And this one is wide right, but a flag is down, and it may be roughing the kicker. And it was. Wow.
Get a gift.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff is going to retain possession, keep the ball, and the clock has run out here in the 3rd quarter, and the mistakes continue.
Number 24 on the defense. It's a personal foul. Half the distance to go. Automatic 1st down.
Pierre Marshall was the man who came in and got Heflin. And so a personal foul is an automatic 1st down. They'll move the ball inside all the way inside the 10. It'll be marked at the 9. What a huge mistake.
Pierre, that's a costly mistake. You're a senior. He knows better than that. I know he's sitting there thinking right now, what was I doing giving him that gift? And now Golden Lions, you have another opportunity. What are you going to do? You have another opportunity to do something. The best offense in the SWAC last year. Will you show up and do something and capitalize on one of these opportunities?
And there will be one untimed down here at the end of the third. You cannot end a quarter on a defensive penalty. So first down and goal. Wallace hands off to Esau around the end. Gets inside the 5, and oh, wow, he just ran up the back of his wide receiver, and thank goodness that man got up. But the ball is inside the 5. Same score as at the half, but the Golden Lions are knocking on the door when we come back.
Mr. Bush, room 619. Mr. Manning, 1818.
This is Reggie Bush. Can you send up 10 lobsters, please?
This is Peyton Manning. Can you send me a 30-foot-long catfish po' boy, please?
Can I get someone up?
We are set for the start of the fourth quarter, 16-3. Mississippi Valley State on top. But the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine-Bluff are knocking on the door inside the 5. Second down and goal after that roughing the kicker penalty.
Do you hear that music with that band? Talking about joy and pain, man. Who's feeling joy?
Another defensive stop at the 5 and more miscommunication on the Golden Lion offensive line. And Mo Forte, to say that he can be pleased with his execution and the way his team has played today would be an understatement.
That's why I'm telling you, the band was playing the song Joy and Pain. And who's feeling the pain? The Golden Lions. And who's feeling the joy? The Delta Devils, man. This is just Coach Forte. This is exactly what he didn't want to have happen. An offense that's a powerhouse to show up and just be kaput.
Well, and the Delta Devils, quite frankly, have made mistakes of their own, but they've been able to avoid paying for those mistakes.
Well, everybody's going to make mistakes. There's never been a perfect football game ever played. However, you can't make as more than the other guy.
Well, now
back on the game.
The clock continued to run here in the stadium, so we'll take a moment to reset that. And you know, I try to make light of all these different situations because it is football and
it's the first game.
It's the first game of the year, and you
working out the kinks.
Yeah, it's exactly. So now back to action. The clock is reset at 14:25. Third down from outside the 5. And the ball is down on the ground yet again. Chris Wallace was able to gather it, but nowhere for him to go. And they're going to go for another field goal. Heflin will trot on the field. Look at Forte. He is just furious.
Now, somebody here is not doing something right. Patrick Caponier, the center, he's a senior. Chris Wallace, a senior. That's why this is so hard to believe. Those guys had to have plenty of reps together. So to see this consistently happen, this might be the 6th or 7th time. I know Coach Forte is just not appreciating this at all. And this is just a fundamental breakdown. I don't quite understand it.
Officially, this will be a 22-yard attempt and another bad snap. And around the end, and this one going nowhere, and the ball is on the ground and recovered, I believe, by the Delta Devils. Wow.
The kicking game can kill you.
Wow. Jeremy Fisher, the holder, tried to make a play out of nothing. Just bad. Score remains 16-3 early here in the fourth.
I'm Danica Patrick, IndyCar driver and GoDaddy girl. When you want to be bigger than what you can be by yourself, it takes a team to build a company, to build a brand. With a team, you really can just do more. We all want to win, and that means success. The GoDaddy team is right for me because they're the #1 registrar there is. I want to be with the best, and that's simple. It's GoDaddy. Enter Danica1 when you check out and save 10% on your order. When you have something to say it at GoDaddy.com.
If you're a college sports fan, you're an NCAA Division II sports fan. This is what you want.
10 seconds left, down by 2.
This is what you'll get. The biggest hearts, the biggest games, the best of Division II. These student athletes chose Division II. Watch them play on CSTV. Visit NCAAsports.com/D2 to watch the NCAA Division II broadband games of the week.
A bad snap has the Golden Lions again missing out on a scoring opportunity.
That was a horrible snap. Patrick Caponier Sr., you need to do some extra work when we get done. That ball might have got 3 inches off the ground. There's not too much you can do, man. I know it hurts. I know it hurts because you want to be so much better. Just got to go and practice. It's fundamentals.
If you wrote down everything that has happened to this Golden Lion team today, as Roberts is back to pass, he's got a man open, and that was caught a little bit short. But if you wrote down everything that has happened, the turnovers, getting second chances because of roughing the kicker penalties, you look at the fumbles and the fumbles lost. If you wrote down everything that has happened, nobody would believe you.
No.
And say, this is what happened in today's game.
It was a lot of sloppy,
it's incredible.
Lot of sloppy football, but again, you expect some of that when you're starting out a season in the first game and working out the kinks, but some of this stuff is just inexcusable.
Roberts, after the incompletion on first down, in the shotgun, standing in his own end zone. Pitches back, and this man's got some room, but good closing speed that time by Tim Turner, catching up with Stephen Robert, who is another man that was set in the first half and now getting a chance here in the second half.
A little gutsy call, having your back to the wall in the end zone, run the play and pitching it out there. But able to get outside the defense, gain a few yards. And again, this is all set up because there's been plays being run from every single side of the field throughout this game. So now you don't know what to defend. They're doing some of everything now.
3rd and 7 for Paul Roberts in this offense. They don't want to make a mistake this deep in their field again. Roberts, he just lofts it over, and it's dropped. It's dropped by Stephen Roberts. He had plenty for the first down, had a little bit of room, but there you saw a man who's only touched it a couple of times and couldn't make the play.
Well, let's talk about the positives. Good decision-making by Paul Roberts. He eluded some folks and just lofted the ball. So catchable, so pretty. Sometimes when it's so easy, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's so easy, it's hard.
Galarski now will punt from his own end zone, and they are counting to make sure they have enough men on the field.
Who's snapping the ball?
It's the other team.
So, I just get nervous now. Any snaps now?
I'm just getting nervous, period. Galarski taking his time, puts his foot into it. A high, booming kick, taken at the 46. Straight up the middle. Bruce Peters gets inside the 40, and it seems like they have played the entire second half in Delta Devils territory. Haven't scored yet. Got to get something done. We're running out of time.
Yeah, this head ball, coach.
Hey, I told you he could really go.
Two smacks and a liftoff.
Click, clack.
Good, Aaron. Cow. Cow. Yes, sweetie. Cow. Cow. Paul, where are the burgers?
A free Chick-fil-A sandwich and Coke for the first million to register at freechickenandcoke.com.
Mississippi Valley State University, home of the B.B. King Recording Studio, where your degree in the recording industry means something. Home of the state's only master's program in bioinformatics. The first and only university in the southeastern United States to offer the automated identification technology program.
More challenges, more involvement, more fun. Seriously, don't get lost in the crowd.
Mississippi Valley State University, where you get more attention. Come on to the Delta, where what matters to you matters to us.
It's been all about the miscues on the side of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, especially just in that last series.
Yes, you got to work on having functionability at the place where you snap the ball. The guy who snaps the ball has to do his job and get the ball to the quarterback and or the punter. And if that doesn't happen, you don't have a shot to do anything.
With all that being said, yet again, the Golden Lions will take over inside of the 40 of the Delta Devils. If they score right here, they're still in this game, no doubt about it. Completed out there to Marion Ulrich on the wide receiver screen. He gets maybe 3 or 4 inside the 35, second down. And it's truly amazing to me that so many of these things can happen to a team that was so good on offense just a year ago.
And when you're a great offense, sometimes in the offseason you spend so much time working on all the extra little things you can add on to greatness, and sometimes the little fundamentals get sort of lost, and that's what's obviously showing up here. A lot of simple fundamentals are being forgotten about what made them great last year.
Wallace under center. Jason Jones remains on the sidelines with those bad cramps. Great fake and a nice play call, and that's complete. It'll be enough for a first down to Demetrius Beverly, who has been the man who has wanted the football, has wanted to make the plays. They have not been able to get it to him at that time. A well-designed play.
That was offensive coordinator Jonathan Cannon. Do something to help your offense settle down. That's the play action. The misdirection plays work well early in the season. Defenses aren't prepared for them. That one was just a small alteration, get outfield, short yardage, get some positive gains, build some momentum.
Chains move. 1st and 10 at the 25 of Mississippi Valley State. They're down 13, they're down 2 scores, and we are under 11 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. They need 2 touchdowns. Wallace to Esau, and they were ready. 2 men were there that time, number 31, Sam Irons, and also big number 99, Isaac Jones was in on the plate.
Well, those guys looked like it was aggressiveness on defense, not falling for it that time. Slanting inside, being aware. Lavoy Shavers, 99. I'm seeing some plays out of those guys. This is what you want to see. You want to see a defense not just lay down and let it happen.
A loss of 3 on 1st down. Second down and 13. They're going over the middle. Jason Jones was back in the play, but he went one way, the ball was going the other. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Just been some unfortunate plays. They're going to need a lot of time to reflect in this film. Sometimes there's nothing to say. See, Coach?
Oh, my goodness.
You see him not yelling anymore? You notice him?
He's just the frustration has simply taken over here this afternoon. 16-3, under 10 to play, 3rd and 13. Wallace back to pass. He's got a man open. It is caught inside the 5, 1st and goal. Great adjustment that time by number 19, Remo Gay. And now 1st and goal and another huge situation here.
Well, boy, the pressure was coming. Chris Wallace, good job, man, hanging in the pocket with the pressure, letting the ball go, and just a dynamic catch. Way to stay focused on that ball and concentrate. That's a tough catch over your back inside shoulder like that. Way to focus on catching the ball.
And you've really seen 8 to 10 different names that we've called today been given opportunities just because of lack of productivity. Remo Gay, a guy that came in and made that catch and has given his offense another chance to score. 1st and goal. Handoff Esau with the stiff arm. Can he get to the corner? And he does. Kenneth Esau, touchdown, Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And with everything that has happened, pending the extra point, they are now within one score.
That's just them hanging in there and being persistent. Esau, just a good run, a good solid stiff arm, and that's what I like to see. That's old school. You bring it back to old school when you crack out the stiff arm. He gave him the stiff arm, got upfield. That's just them battling and hanging in there. But so many opportunities the Golden Lions didn't capitalize on. Hats off to him for cashing in on one of them.
The all-important extra point hits the upright and is no good. Heflin, a first-team All-SWAC performer, but with the stiff arm and then showing the speed to get to the corner, extra point is missed. We have a 16-9 game here in the fourth. CU football, presented by the U.S. Navy, has been brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. And by Sirius Satellite Radio. Hear the sports, talk, news, entertainment, and 100% commercial-free music that you want. Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio on radio. So Kenneth Esau has brought the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions to within 7. The extra point was missed. So now it's a touchdown game. What would have been a 16-10 game now is back on point. So Heflin misses the extra point, so with 9:35 remaining, and Mississippi Valley State will get the ball back. Cotton takes it at his own 10, and a nice open field tackle that time by Matthew Price, and so out comes Paul Roberts, and now the Delta Devils need to respond.
They certainly do, and after I saw that play being made on special teams, I saw everybody over there, the Golden Lions, they were getting excited. You know, you see the momentum on the sideline, you're coming there, they're working hard, coming down to make plays, and on the sideline, everybody for the Golden Lions, they were fired up, man. The momentum is starting to change, and if they want to keep that to a minimum, Delta Devils score right now.
You had to believe that they could not have so many opportunities and not be able to eventually punch it in. Roberts and Brewer, miscommunication. Brewer stays on his feet, but can't stay on his feet forever, and a big-time loss, a 10-yard loss on a play that was slotted just to go straight up the middle.
I don't know what they call in the huddle, but sometimes players get confused, okay? Mr. Brenner, he is a freshman. He is a freshman. It was a draw. He tried to give it back to the quarterback. I don't know. Good elusiveness. That time, young man, get down. That's how bad things happen. Get down when they're swarming you like that.
Second down and almost 20 for MVSU. 4 wide receivers. That has been the normal set for them this afternoon. And they're running the screen to Brewer, and I believe that it's going to be an illegal man downfield. A flag is back at the 22, and then a flag comes in late on the play up near the tackle. So we'll have to sort this one all out. It was a well-designed play, but I think that the lineman took off just a little bit too early.
Yeah, when you start painting the field up with all those yellow things in the field, that's not good, okay? You're just tuning in. You see yellow flags. There's a lot of them out here in this game. That's no good. You don't like to see that.
Yeah, Roberts took a little bit too long to get rid of it. They allowed the entire defensive line to come upfield, and, you know, that's one of those timing plays,
you know. Receiver downfield on a forward pass, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
You know, he didn't say a number because it was the entire line.
Yeah. Well, the offensive line coach, Riley Murray, okay, he works on this all the time, and this stuff he's supposed to count like 1, 2, 3, then go. See, they're not even counting to nothing. They're just off and running. They want to feel like they're running backs. You can't do that in football, man. You can't do that running backs. Coach, I know you're upset, Coach. I can relate. Coach, I know you're upset. Look at him. He's like, are you kidding me?
We'll bring it back and do it again. 2nd and 23. There are 5 defensive backs in the game now for the Golden Lions. Roberts hands it off to Brewer straight up the middle. He's going to be stacked up right at the 20. A very minimal gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long. And this is a spot where you really don't want to make a mistake. Call something safe, punt the football.
There's about maybe like 3 plays you got in your playbook, okay, for 3rd down and 20, all right? There's not too many decisions you can make out there. I would say just try to hold on to the ball. You might want to go with a nice, simple, short, mediocre route just to get some more yards downfield, but it's a tough spot, man.
You know, Big Bro, there is frustration on both sidelines right now. There is a lot. I don't know how much either head coach is enjoying themselves right now. Well, they got a man over the middle. That's Brown. And that's one of the 3 plays you were talking about. Go to your big tight end / wide receiver, Abner Brown, up past the 45, and a big 3rd down conversion.
If you're the Golden Lions, you got to be sick. This was man-to-man coverage. Brown just straight up just beat a man, mano y mano. He beat a man head up, and when you beat a man head up, you can make anything. 3rd and 50 if you go one-on-one and you beat a man.
Abner Brown is 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a junior, has 1 touchdown catch today. That was right before halftime. That was a big catch. That last one was also a big catch, getting your team the 1st down. The drive continues, and now the clock's starting to be a factor as we hit 7 minutes. The draw again to Brewer, and this play has stopped fooling Arkansas Pine-Bluff a long time ago.
That one's done, but I got to give hats off to Abner Brown. He's 6'3". Now, this is a big-time receiver. This is a big receiver. 6'3", 240 pounds. That's a big man. I know I like the fact that this guy is a playmaker that can continue to make plays. I want to go to him again. Go to him some more. I like it. I agree with you 100%. I agree.
2nd down, 13.
I agree. I like him. I like him.
Hometown, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I like the guy. I like it.
The Golden Lions need to make a stop. They trail by 7, 6.5 to go. Roberts to the near side again to Brown. That's the go-to man. He gets knocked out right at midfield, so they get about half of what they needed back, and it'll bring up 3rd down again.
He's just making himself available all the time. I mean, when you look at this, Paul Roberts has a guy that's open. He's a big receiver. He's open. He's dropping back, and you see him. He's just right there. He's big. Nice target. Your scouting report has been correct on this man. He's special.
Well, I do what I can. I mean, you're the football guy. I just try to call it like I see it. I'm just a traffic cop trying to navigate. And today there's been a lot of and now Roberts is going to go down all the way back to the 30. They were trying to set up that screen again, but that time it wasn't open, and he got caught.
Well, maybe the worst thing you can do in that one is do what he did, okay? You might want to try when they're coming upfield and the screen's not working. Maybe you might want to throw that ball really far, really fast, but obviously with field position being of importance right now, taking a sack and dropping back might not be the best decision. But, hey, he's made so many good ones today.
Joey Hargrave was the man that they were trying to get the ball to, and he just didn't settle into a spot that Roberts could get the ball to him. So after that huge loss, it's 4th down and, well, they say 25. It seems like it's a lot farther than that. But so Galarski puts his foot into it. It will land at the 37, and they better just stay away from it. And it's going to roll dead there, so that's where the Golden Lions will take over with 5:17 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And they need a touchdown to tie this thing. Coming up next, folks, the most up-to-date news and scores are coming your way on Football Nation. It's your chance to get caught up with everything happening in games around the country. All the latest information, amazing highlights, and important stories. You'll find it all on Football Nation, your one-stop destination for all things college football. Coming up next. I don't know how many highlights of this game they'll be showing on Football Nation.
There were a few big plays in this game, but a lot more sloppiness. Chris Wallace, you have a shot, man. You have a shot still.
With all the mistakes, still a chance to get this game tied. And they go over the middle and just a little bit too far, intended for Ryan Watley. He was breaking open, but just a little too much.
They had a step. The receiver had a step on him. That's all you can ask for if you're a receiver. Watley, you had a step on him. Chris, you got to put that ball in the right spot. So what? Not the most blocky in the world. You just got to make those throws. That's why you've been the player you've been. That's why you're the offensive player of the year last year. You got to show up.
And you got to show up even if you've had a bad day. When it's crunch time late in the fourth, this is really where you really need to make a play. So now 5:09, 2nd and 10 from their own 42. And another flag flies and another false start on the offensive line.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 19 on Pine-Bluff, 5-yard penalty.
They're going to say that was on the tight end. But you don't know if 5 or 6 days of practice is going to be enough to fix all of these mistakes.
I think we're so hard on them because we know that this offense is capable of doing so much better.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, they're so much better than what they have performed here today. We know that. They've shown that. They had a lot of returning players from last year. Wallace, back to pass, steps up. He's going to get caught from behind, and another flag is down. He was caught by the man who is probably the defensive MVP here today, Fred Poole. And again, it's going to be against Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Decision time, too. It'd be about a 3rd and 13 or a 2nd and a mile if they decide to accept the penalty.
On the offense, number 70, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 2nd down.
And Coach Willie Totten decides to take the penalty, bro.
Well, overall, again, we're so hard in this offense because we know it can be so much better, but today they're not showing it. They're making all the mistakes that you would expect a young, inexperienced offense to do. They're making mistakes every which way but loose. That's not the first holding today.
I did not know that you are a Clint Eastwood fan. 9 penalties, 18 total here today. Wallace and overthrows this man and almost threw an interception and just was getting they're down on, I guess is the best way to put it. 3rd down and long for this Golden Lion offense.
Again, only 3 or 4 plays in your playbook for 3rd down and 25. If you're Chris Wallace, you're trying to finish this drive out, have some poise, and make a big-time play now.
The fact that you only have 1 timeout left, what do you do here? Do you try to get half back and go for it, or is it too early with 4.5 minutes remaining?
I'm going to look for the one-on-one matches. I look for 87, Demetrius Beverly right now, see if I can't get him down the middle of the field.
Wallace under center, back to pass. He's got time, and there you go. All as if you had written it up. There's your man, number 87, Demetrius Beverly. But the side judge will see where they mark it. It may be just a hair short of that 1st down marker.
Offensive coordinator Jonathan Cannon, see, we're connected. We're thinking alike. Get the big man down the middle. That cover 2's been there. He's a senior. He's one to make plays. I don't know if he got the 1st down, but that's definitely a right move. Get in the middle of the field. Settle down in that zone in the cover 2, and that's just a good ball placed there by Chris Wallace as well. Let's give him some credit. We've been giving him grief. Let's give him credit. Good ball, Chris Wallace.
A big measurement here as the clock has stopped, and they will bring the chains out to measure this one. But that was a long 3rd down play, and it is going to be enough. 1st down, Golden Lions.
Congratulations. Congratulations. He's still getting coached up. They're still coaching him up. Coach Forte is not letting him off the hook with 1 big throw. He wants a lot more productivity, but this is what they need. It's 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. There's still plenty of opportunity left in this game. Chris Wallace, you're turning it around.
Well, I tell you what, if APBU goes on to tie this game and win this game, I think they can look back at that one play as the play that kept them with the opportunity to win the game.
Yeah,
because if they would have had a
25.
punt right there, yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations, but now it's a 1st down and 10 after that 3rd down conversion. Wallace back to pass, and the pocket closes, and they converge, and he goes down, sack for Mississippi Valley State.
Smart decision by Chris Wallace. The pressure was coming. The pressure was mounting. I looked downfield with you that time, Chris. There was nobody open. You did the right thing. Lay down. Live to fight another day. Second down. Good decision. Move on. But you got to get some yards in this second down. Time is the ticket.
There you see the timeouts remaining. The Delta Devils still have all three, but Arkansas Pine-Bluff used a couple early in the third quarter, and we wondered if they would come back to haunt them, and they just might. Clock continues to move. 3 wide receivers. Here comes Poole. Wallace being chased, and a nice throw, and the catch is made, you bet, by Ryan Watley. Right up at the 50-yard line, and a nice throw on the move by Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace showing you spurts of why he's the special player we talked about at the beginning of this game. Getting outside, the pressure was coming, and nobody was blocked coming from that far right side. Nobody was there. They came hard. They came strong. Fred Poole and the crew was coming outside, and boy, athletic ability. Chris Wallace get outside, but keeping his eyes downfield, putting a tight route on the outside shoulder of that man so the defender couldn't get there. Smart throw, smart decision. I like it.
This may be 4-down territory as we approach 2 minutes and only 1 timeout remaining. Third down. And Wallace, as the play just broke down, just took the ball and ran straight up the middle. No flag is down. So I guess that play will count. And we'll look at it one more time.
Was that football? What was that? That's the okay. Well, what?
Well, what it was a 4-yard running play by the quarterback. That's what we'll call it.
Hey.
But now here is the game essentially. We're under 1:45 remaining. Arkansas Pine-Bluff only has 1 timeout remaining after the fumble-rooski. So 4th down and 3. They need to convert here or this game is over. Man in motion. Keep an eye on number 87. Wallace. And number 87 was there, but so was number 37 from Mississippi Valley State. Alvin McClurkin made the play, and the Delta Devils are going to pull off the upset here this afternoon.
That play was reflective of this entire game offensively for the Golden Lions. Sloppy play, missed assignments, poor decision-making. They got what they deserved because they just didn't come out and perform today offensively.
So, barring any catastrophe, like a fumble between the... It's not something we've seen today, by the way. Between the quarterback and center. And the handoff. Up past the 50, inside to the 47. And right now, let's take a look at the serious player of the game. And it's that man right there, number 1, Paul Roberts.
Well, I like him. He came in right now, his first year starting, making good decisions early, showing the mobility, knowing when to run, knowing when to pass, working hard, getting his teammates involved. This game, the numbers aren't the biggest numbers in the world, but they were good enough to help his team win. And this was a nice, consistent start for him. Offensive line gave him time, got help from his receivers, got help from his running backs, a young freshman Brewer. Good all-around performance.
Hargrave gets the handoff again, and they try to strip it from him under the pile. And you also got to give credit to Abner Brown. Big number 89 also had a really good game. And the final timeout is used by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And so one more play, and that will do it here today. And Mississippi Valley State, they scored 10 early points. They scored a touchdown late in the first half, and that touchdown has proven to be the difference.
Overall, both coaches have a lot of coaching to do.
For UAPB, all the timeouts for UAPB.
A lot of coaching, a lot of things to talk about on both sides. A very sloppy game, but in these kind of games, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes goes home with a victory. Right now, Coach Mo Forte has a lot to work on, and obviously Coach Totten still has a lot to work on, but I know he can feel good about his team stepping up in a game they were supposed to lose. Everyone had them slated to lose this game, playing against the powerhouse of the Golden Lions, and they really showed up and made great plays in this game.
So, a 16-9 apparent win here for the Delta Devils, who came in off a 2006 season where they only averaged 18 points a game. And today they scored less than that, but Arkansas Pine-Bluff had plenty of opportunities and just couldn't cash in when they had those opportunities. So one more play, and that should do it here this afternoon. Roberts goes back, goes to one knee, and this clock will run out. They don't even have to run another play. And a big home win for Mississippi Valley State.
Congratulations to Coach Totten. Coming home, season opener. It's good to win when the stadium's named after you. When your name's on the stadium, don't you like to win at home?
I'm sure it feels good. I wouldn't know.
Coachman Stadium.
Yeah, Coachman Williams Stadium someday.
I want to win at that stadium.
Oh, that's going to do it. Coach Forte can't be pleased with the outcome here today. A very lackluster performance for the Golden Lions. On the other side, the Delta Devils took advantage of the opportunities when they had them and had a big home win. We'll be back to wrap things up from Itamina, Mississippi, right after this.
I'm Danica Patrick, IndyCar driver and GoDaddy girl. When you want to be bigger than what you can be by yourself, it takes a team to build a company, to build a brand. With a team, you really can just do more. We all want to win, and that means success. The GoDaddy team is right for me because they're the #1 registrar there is. I want to be with the best, and that's simple. It's GoDaddy. Enter Danica1 when you check out and save 10% on your order. When you have something to say it at GoDaddy.com.
University of Arkansas at Pine-Bluff graduates shaped the world. From Wiley Austin Bratton, defender of the Little Rock Nine, to Dr. Samuel Lee Kuntz, a pioneer in kidney transplantation. Their UAPB education set them in motion to influence our culture and our lives. Today's graduates enjoy the same opportunity for greatness, feeding the world through applied aquaculture, advancing technology, and engaging their entrepreneurial spirit. UAPB prepares its graduates to seek and fulfill their greatest potential.
And that benefits us all.
Get big arms, a ripped chest, and cut abs with the Perfect Push-Up. The Perfect Push-Up works with the natural rotation of your arms and shoulders to maximize results and minimize stress on your body. With the Perfect Push-Up, your hands, arms, and shoulders rotate 90 degrees, just like in a punch. All the energy of the push-up is captured and transmitted right where you want it, to the muscles. There's no wasted effort, just muscle-building movement. And as your arms rotate, you feel it work in your biceps, your triceps, your chest and abs, and your shoulders. Invented by a U.S. Navy SEAL and made with steel and a ball-bearing movement, it's the push-up perfected. So here's the deal. The Perfect Push-Up is only 2 payments of $19.95. When you order, you'll receive 2 Perfect Push-Up rotational handles, and you'll also receive the Navy SEAL-inspired Perfect Push-Up workout chart. You'll be ripped in no time. Get big fast. Call right now for the Perfect Push-Up.
Call 1-800-543-0376.
Hi, Holly. So, do you want to make $50 the easy way? I'll make $50 just for turning you on to this. It's a 50-50 offer. You get to dump unreliable cable and fall in love with DirecTV. Plus, you get a DVD player and $50. And I get $50. What's not to love?
Sign up your friends, and you'll...
Mississippi Valley State, a big home win over the team that was picked, Rowan Williams, to win the Western Division of the SWAC Conference, Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Very competitive game. The rich history of this conference and of this whole deal, I just enjoyed it, man. I think that Willie Totten has a lot to improve on, obviously, with his team, but good start getting a victory.
And the Golden Lions and Mo Forte, they have a lot to work on, too, if they want to win that Western Division. Well, once again, our final score, Mississippi Valley State 16, Arkansas Pine-Bluff 9. For Roland Williams and our entire CSTV crew, I'm Jonathan Coachman. For the latest scores, news, highlights, and analysis, log on to CSTV.com. This has been a presentation of CSTV, the 24-hour college sports network from CBS Sports. We now send you to the CSTV Fieldhouse for Football Nation. My main man, Adam Zucker, is standing by. See you later from Itta Bena, Mississippi.